What's up, people? Yeah, I'm home. I'm live. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? I got some Vietnamese showing up. Mm-hmm. Beef cubes, some pork, grilled pork, and some summer rolls and spring rolls. Oh, nice. 3 days ago.
Deals with me, but just recently, he was poisoned.
If you look at the evidence
Right.
that racism started on another planet,
Someone traveling through
somebody is traveling through.
the sun. War on the moon. And listen,
Who are they fighting up there?
it's the dark side of the moon and the civilization that live on the dark far side of the moon.
I think CERN is them trying to break out the simulation. We are the first hybrid race.
Right.
They don't want us to know that the gods can die.
We'll get right to it that they may not approve this for YouTube, right?
The streets unplugged. You know we gotta plug the streets in, because the streets ain't been plugged in a while. I swear to God, my mama.
There's a banking app. You know that?
Yes.
Now, I'm keeping it real. Like, look, we're going to get you paid, but today I want to get you really paid, right?
All right.
There's a banking app, right?
What's that?
Called Current. Right?
Okay.
It got a lot of useful features, right?
Right.
One of the ones that stand out to me the most is you can access up to $750 of your paycheck before you get paid.
Now, that's lit.
If you get approved, right?
For sure.
Listen, what Current called thing, when you listen, I gotta put on my I got no fingerprints on this one. Yeah, no face, no case, no fingerprints on this one. Yeah,
that's
keeping it
how
real.
You cover? That's how you cover?
We gotta come like that because like
it's a drill. Then
there's a whole lot of chatter going on. There's a whole lot of stuff going on around the internet, and a lot of people are looking for influential people to kind of like make some statements that's not solely around racism.
For sure,
right? Because a lot of people in the world right now, they're looking at things that's happening. They're thinking racism is real. Or maybe it is real, or maybe it isn't, right?
Right.
But racism, let's just start there. What is racism?
Racism is a social construct that is set up to divide people not by classes or education or bloodline,
right,
but distinctly by the color of their skin.
Right. Where do racism stem from? Come on, you gotta let me know. Where do it come from? The truth.
If you look at the evidence,
right,
and I'm talking about all the evidence,
right,
it seems to me,
right,
that racism started on another planet. If you just look at the evidence,
right. What is the evidence? Why you suggest this?
Okay, where did human beings allegedly learn slavery from? If you look at the Sumerian tablets and the story of the Anunnaki, they made human beings to be a slave race to mine gold, then we rebelled.
Right.
If you look at the Anunnaki,
right,
it's tall black dudes with dreads and beards.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Then if you look throughout history, for some reason,
Come on.
the Arabs, the white humans,
Mm-hmm.
the Asians,
Mm-hmm.
all seem to have a certain disdain for one group collectively. And that's black people, brown-skinned people. What is that about?
Right. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Right. I'm trying to figure out what it's about and why are people so influenced by racism. Do you believe that white people created racism? Do you believe that people on other planets they was white race? Because there's another race right now they're saying it's the tall whites. Do you believe it's the tall
Shangy,
whites?
what's up, buddy? Shangy in the
They got
building.
something to do with it. Listen, bro. All right. Let's look at the entire thing.
Right.
We gotta look at everything.
Okay, look at it.
Shang stuck.
All of history has seemed to be whitewashed, right?
Right.
Then I show you a declassified photo of all of the different non-human intelligences that have interacted with people, and a lot of them look black.
Right. There was a lot of people saying that. Listen, if you've been following this, you've seen them pictures we uploaded in the.
We'll make sure we throw it back up here again.
Right. But
now listen to this though.
Okay, I'm listening.
People don't really study history.
Right.
Are you familiar with the Barbary slave trade?
Explain it to me. Break it down for the people that don't know.
The Barbary slave trade was a slave trade that took place where it was all white people that were slaves.
Stop playing with me.
This is facts, bro.
Okay.
This is facts. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read this to you, just so I can make sure. Because did you know that there were more? The Barbary slave trade took place was going long after the transatlantic slave trade even ended. Point blank period. So when I traveled to Africa, a lot of those people don't have a history of slavery in their families at all. Where did all of those slaves come in the Barbary slave trade? Ireland. And what's going on in Ireland right now? Social unrest, public mobs, they're fighting to keep a white homeland because they was the first victims.
Right.
Because the Islamic slave trade, which is the Barbary slave trade, was from the 17th century to the 20th century, bro.
Right.
So that means that several million more white slaves got brought to North Africa than black slaves got brought to America in the transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
They don't talk to you about this.
Right.
You know why? Why is it that we've seen NASA scientists come out and say they've seen tall black beings getting off ships, but they won't even interact. The tall whites do interact.
That's crazy. But in the files they released, there's no evidence of this. Right?
David Grush, who submitted his argument to the Inspector General himself,
right,
came out and said that the group of tall white Nordics are a few centuries ahead of us. What did the guy who said he was working at Nellis Air Force Base say? He said we was trading radio parts with them.
Right.
That adds up.
Right. And I agree with that.
And what did the guy come out and say? It's like they were trying to escape from an oppressive regime themselves. That's why they hide out here.
Right.
Look how black people is, bro.
Right.
I feel like we was kicking their ass along. Well, they was kicking their ass a long time ago.
Right.
And all these different races somehow seeded this planet. And that's why it seems like everything before like 1700, probably 1600, they faked it all.
Right.
Because there's evidence that there was a global civilization that was highly technological that populated the whole planet.
Right.
Then we keep hearing about this Noah's flood. I think that is the Younger Dryas. Catastrophic event, froze Antarctica, which I think that is Atlantis.
Right.
And
that's what I was
if
thinking
the white
too.
human DNA didn't show up until 7,000 years ago,
where the Atlantis is.
What color people was in Atlantis then?
Under the ice.
Right. Listen, we're going to get deep into that. We're going to talk about that because we're going to figure out where did the skin tone even come from. But before we get into that, you said something. It said something about the racism. But what was actually lost in the racism when you're looking at Black America, right? What did Black America lose this racism and in the slave trade, alleged slave trade.
They lost cultural values and national pride.
What that mean?
So, that's why I was always careful of having children here with hip hop Americans, which I call Black Americans, because a lot of our social principles is based off hip hop culture, which doesn't seem to be conducive when it comes to scaling, building generational wealth, when it comes to raising solid traditional values in families, because, most Black people don't even like America.
Right.
You go to Africa, you go to Kenya, go to Nigeria, they're very proud people where they come from. They have history, they have social, cultural norms. A lot, family structure is very important, but with us, not so much.
Right.
So we lost that. We lost our traditional religions, our traditional language and tongue, because, people say that the slave trade didn't happen. Well, there are certain groups that you can go visit in the deep South, Mississippi, where they all speak Yoruba, which is a Nigerian tongue. How would that be possible if the transatlantic slave trade didn't happen?
Right. Well, a lot of people suggested it didn't, but if it did happen, where are all the ships? Because right now we can find pirate ships. We have different types of ships, but we have yet to find a slave ship. So where did slaves come from if it was a slave trade then? If you're suggesting that it happened and there's no slave ships, where did slavery come from?
So you're saying nobody can show you a physical slave ship?
I'm asking you, is there one? We've been looking for one for a long time. That we have seen images and pieces, but never one in its full place.
Well, let me see. I mean, I've been to certain museums, and I know how the museums things go. They rebuild things.
Right.
Here's the thing with why you wouldn't see an actual slave ship.
Right.
In these ages, once you got the ship across the ocean, they usually deconstructed the ship to use that wood to build structures now. And people have to understand something. A lot of stuff that you see in museums and all of these national parks are remakes, reconstructs. Like, even when it comes to dinosaurs, you're not seeing the actual skeleton in the museum.
Right.
And you got to understand something. All of this stuff is worth money. To do archaeology, it costs millions of dollars. You got to get funding and grants.
Right.
So why would they go take a $10 million T-Rex skeleton and go put it up in front of a bunch of people where it's got insurance policies on it, people steal artifacts, things burn down all of the time?
Right. I get what you're saying, but a lot of people suggest this because when you look at Africans, you look at African Americans,
right?
They're different. Their facial features is different. Everything is totally different. But listen, I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to ask this question, and this is going to be a question that's going to probably offend some people. I want to know if you know the answer to this question: are Black America and Africans the same thing?
No.
But everybody thinks that they are.
It's not the same.
Okay, now break that down.
If you go over there right now, they're going to call you a foreigner. If there is no kumbaya, welcome home, my brother. That's what we got to forget about. And that's the problem with our people. We want everybody to love us without loving ourselves. You're not finna go over there across the ocean and think that these are my brothers. No, boy, you is a foreigner. You is not from there.
You're not from there.
We had selective breeding programs that took place here.
Right.
This is why if you got the biggest, strongest male, the biggest, strongest female, then we had inbreeding because they just wanted the strongest, most physical, capable, and durable workers, right? Now, if you got 100 years of collective breeding, you finna have some testosterone-filled damn near monsters that's getting born. And that's gonna get passed down generation after generation after generation. It's the same thing with breeding any type of mammal. That's why you see in certain communities, like, man, these niggas is aggressive. You got 100 years of selective breeding that made them this way.
Right.
People don't talk about this.
Right. They don't. They can't. it may not be allowed, right? A lot of people want to talk about these conversations, but these conversations are not had, right?
Right.
Listen, slavery is something that we forget about. Kanye West said it was a choice, right? A lot of people got different views of slavery, right? But this is what I want to know, right? Slavery become an act of when they enslave you, and then God become an act of slavery. Because what I notice in religion, that why is it that every race got a color of God that match that race? How does that come about? You got a black Jesus, you got a white Jesus, you got a Chinese Jesus.
The craziest part about this was I was in Embu in Kenya, completely rural town.
Right.
The average age of the city is like 70, because
Right.
they send all of the young people to the city to work, go to school, and then when they come back to the rural areas.
Right.
I go into a mud house that's built, and inside of there they got white Jesus.
White Jesus.
And I'm looking like, wow. I go to Ethiopia, they got black Jesus. You go to Russia, they got black Jesus. You go to China, they got white Jesus. they love white people over there. In China and in Japan, they'll hire a white dude to act like he's the owner of the company, just so he can be the face, and he's just an employee.
Or anything.
So, you think human beings are capable of pulling this off alone? How could you get across every part of the world to whitewash it? How is it possible?
I think he revealed that to Tucker Carlson
aliens
when he went down there.
Hitler said tall aliens, white aliens,
Killing in the snow,
on the battlefield.
Yes. We hear this same story. Christopher
top of the
Columbus said
world.
lights came and guided them through a tumultuous path to find land. You ever heard the story of Bulletproof George Washington?
Tell us about that.
You can look this up.
Right.
For everybody wondering,
They gonna look it up.
Bulletproof George Washington is a real thing. Some of the tribes that they battled that were Native Americans said, save your ammo, don't even bother shooting him, he won't die. His horse dead, his coat got bullet holes in it, he not dying.
Right.
Hitler said he encountered them on the battlefield walking among us.
No.
That don't seem like the same thing?
It got to be the same thing. But a lot of people don't look at it like that.
But who are they hiding from? Why do they all hide? That is the thing, bro.
Right. Speaking of hiding, I don't think they hiding too much more. They're doing a lot of things in the open. Right now, it's a case, right, that a lot of people are suggesting that it was an unfair ruling in the case, right?
Right.
It was a black
he probably had
guy
extra
who
armor.
stabbed a white
underneath
guy
his
who
coat.
was allegedly, picking on him, but he killed him. He was sentenced. Now everybody in the world calling it racism. Why is it that it only happened when it's black versus white? Is this considered racism? Is this child considered innocent or guilty in your eyes?
I always tell people this: when you shoot people, you get shot, right?
Right.
You know, when you catch a hat, man, it's gonna be consequences to that.
So you say he caught a hat?
He caught a hat. He caught a hat, bro. At the end of the day, but this is why the family structure is important, because your father usually determines if you gonna be somebody that's getting pushed around or somebody that's gonna be calling shots.
Right.
That's usually determined by your father.
Right.
His father get all that money. They go and buy Escalades. They go get a white lawyer. Then they don't even put up the proper fight to have a mixed jury. Then we watch people like Charleston White and those people, they got to put up the money for the appeal. And they say, this is allegedly, I don't know, but they say the mom went and got a nose job. I learned a very valuable lesson some years ago, me and my co-defendant. We showed up to court with a black lawyer, right?
Right.
And then the case before us, the dude was a black dude. He had a white girl lawyer.
Right.
When she walked in, the DA came over there and hugged her.
No.
And then when the judge came in, his face turning red, blushing. He called her up to the thing. They having a conversation, laughing. I'm like, man, you know, these people all hang out. They all went to the same schools. They all go to the same restaurants. They go to the same gym. These people was all buddies.
Right.
So when I'm coming up in here, I got to play the game.
Right.
Next court date, I had a white girl lawyer.
Right. That's one thing that I understood when I was in the streets and I was doing what I was doing. You didn't go to court without a Jewish lawyer.
100%.
It's like certain things you did not do. Right.
Or a Mason lawyer.
Exactly. You got to have one of the two. Right. But here's the thing. Right. This is going viral and this is going kind of like, you know, it's one of the situations. Do you believe like movements like the Black Lives Matter movement? Do you think like them movements kind of messed it up for people just coming in that want to try to help black people today? Yeah, Black Lives Matter, you know, they was convicted of fraud.
For sure. And then you got to think about that whole thing is a George Soros play. Because they go get those black ladies to do that. They out shopping, fucking off the money. We see that a lot in our community.
Right.
Every time we see we see a black mayor, they doing some bullshit. Kamala Harris locked up more black motherfuckers than anybody else.
100%.
Look at Meek Mill, lawyer. Judge that he had. She was giving him the run around. You know, it was the several mayors that we see under this act. Look at the lady that was texting Epstein. She was a black woman texting Epstein during the little hearings. We know what we know about certain things.
Right. And I'm going to say what he won't say. It's a group, and it's called the Black Illuminati, right? And what they did, they was designed in order to keep other black people down. And you answer them instead of answer to the master, and they answer directly to the master, right? But how do you get in that position where you can be the little nigga? They call him a house nigga. Let's go back. If you want to go back to slavery, this was the house nigga.
You gotta trace the bloodline. You go back and see. Wait a second. This slave was living inside the house. Times change. People get put in position. Just like the Underground Railroad had the Quakers working with them that was white. Secret societies play the same game.
You saying it's sort of like the same how all the presidents of the United States have been blue blood and they've been related.
Yes.
You saying that it's all been decided by blood.
Yes. And then we see CIA is accused of using companies like 23andMe to track alien bloodlines through human DNA profiles.
Right.
It's all connected. It's all about controlling like the evolutionary process of bloodlines or by people who are going to be conducive, because you got to think about it. Aleister Crowley was doing certain rituals and channeling certain beings. That's the same thing that the real and them was doing.
Right.
Why is psychedelics banned when all throughout history people use them to interface with these deities and beings, and they get these downloads and they make progress throughout society?
Right.
This is all by default.
Right.
Why is there fluoride in our water supply and our toothpaste? What is that about?
Right.
To calcify the pineal gland. Why do you calcify the pineal gland? Because when a solar flare comes, you can't tap in. You can't get no downloads.
Right.
So that's why when they start seeing people preaching about going holistic and doing natural ways, they find ways to get rid of those people.
Right. But it's like an epidemic in the world nowadays. If you're watching this, it's an epidemic in the world. So like when I was coming up, it was an epidemic with being a Muslim. Everybody wanted to be a Muslim because like everybody was tired of the white Jesus, right?
Right.
We had a black one, we ran to him.
Right.
Now it seems that everybody is taking on spirituality. Yeah, I'm spiritual. Yeah, I don't eat this. I don't do this. Right? Why is it that everybody seems to be on the same frequency? Is everybody faking, or is this a real frequency?
I believe that this is a real frequency, and I believe that this takes place all throughout human history. There's like a group awakening of consciousness, and once this happens, you either go into a golden age or you go into a war age, and that is what determines the next cataclysm to what takes place, if it does or does not take place. But This has been warned by the Israeli space chiefs who they removed a long time ago. He warned about this time coming, about people waking up, seeing through the fog, and we're watching it happen.
Right. So if right now, if you are addicted to the food, you cannot even experience what a lot of people are experiencing right now because your pineal gland may be glazed, as you call it.
Yeah, I've seen somebody tell you that you was working them to death and that they was killing themselves, and you said you do a better job of killing yourself than I do any day.
Yeah, they do.
And part of that is what you put into your body, what you spend your time doing, the excuses you make for yourself. Those are all self-destructive traits.
Right.
OGM, what's up, buddy?
I know a guy's
That's
name is Manu.
5,000.
He used to work as a
Sir.
doctor. He said he stopped working as a doctor because
Stuffing my
every
face
day
with some
he's got
Vietnamese
somebody
food real
coming
quick.
into his office who smoked 25 years and they're dying of lung cancer. He said, listen, man, I can't fix you. He got tired of telling people that. So he went into finance after that. It's one and the same.
Right.
They trap you in this monotony so you can't transcend, because if you look out through history, we have several groups of people who seem to just disappear.
Right.
Where did they go?
Right. And I want to talk about that, right? Because look, you have said something, right? And you said something that sparked me. You said that Black Americans and Africans are not the same.
Not the same.
But across the world is civilizations that existed, but we can't find the people that habitat it.
Now that is the
yeah. So
they went somewhere, man.
Yeah.
They went somewhere.
Where are they? Are they us? Can they in fact be?
This is something I think about, and I got two hypotheses on this.
Right.
You gotta always, in order to prepare for the future, you gotta study history.
Right.
The Native Americans said they got here, they came from a hole in the sky. That would sound like a portal.
100%.
There are tales about groups of people disappearing, food still on the table, fire still burning, and they're all gone in a flash.
The rupture.
They talk about the Anunnaki coming here and leaving.
Mm-hmm.
We hear, where'd the Aztecs go? The pyramids were already ancient in ancient Egypt. They inherited that.
Mm-hmm.
So, why was there rumors of some type of Stargate that was in Iraq was one reason why we went to go invade. Why is it that in several national parks here in America, they got portals there, but these is restricted areas? I want you to watch something.
They're restricted areas. And a lot of people don't know this, but what I was thinking and suggesting that a lot of people have been told that they're one particular race. They may not be that particular race. Is a lot of places in America and other continents across the world that were once inhabited by people. Those people are no longer there. Those people are missing.
Right.
Right. There's only one group of people that we know of with no nationality that cannot be the same as Africans because they're totally different.
Right.
So, what's the conclusion? I mean, you playing with me. What's the conclusion? Because why was they then taking us in school and taking our blood to determine? They don't do that now. They weren't taking nobody else's blood. Why are they coming to the ghetto and taking blood? I mean, you're not telling me enough. You're not telling me what it really is. Who are we? What are we? Everybody want to know. We're confused. We're not Africans, right? You're saying
Truth is, we the first hybrid race.
There you go.
Okay, you want to get into this?
Let's get into it.
I don't like talking about this shit because I got enough problems as it is.
No, let's get into it.
We are the first hybrid race, right? Now, when you do your DNA test over here, it's going to say a large percentage of African and then a lot of different other races. When they get their DNA test over there, it's 99% Nigerian. Break it down like, oh, it's Igbo or Hausa in little subgroups. We the only ones that's got everybody's DNA.
It's deep.
Which group had the least amount of COVID deaths?
Tell them.
African Americans.
Mm.
Which groups had the most immunity? African Americans.
Mm.
Which group seems like to be the only group that can survive this planet the best?
Mm-hmm.
African Americans. So, if indeed these people are the remnants of a superior race that existed here on this planet,
that inhabited all these places that we're talking about,
that inhabited every piece of land around here, I'm pretty sure that's who was on Mars. Because when you be around black people, we fight a lot.
Yeah.
It don't matter what neighborhood we in, none of that shit. We finna get into it with each other.
100%.
When you look at all of this shit, what do? We destroy ourselves, kill our greats. White people build statues of their greats. We don't do that shit. If you not part of this group, fuck y'all over there. That's just how we is.
That's how I go.
If you look at all of this shit, it's like that. Like niggas destroyed themselves before, and the remnants left there, came here, set up establishments here. It got back cracking again. That's what it seemed like. It got back cracking again, and then the Younger Dryas happened.
Right.
And then now, hold on, we got to go someplace else.
Right.
That's what it seems like.
Right. It seems kind of crazy. But speaking of Africa, somebody that come from Africa that don't look like they African, and that's Elon Musk.
Well, you gotta say something, bro. Like he was born there, but his family's gonna be from European descent.
Right. Right. I mean,
they all immigrants there.
So you saying Elon Musk is an immigrant?
I gotta say one more thing. Joe Magana, remote viewer from the CIA, declassified interview comes out. He described a tall race on Mars. They never say the skin tone ever, and that ain't suspicious to nobody.
But it's kind of suspicious when they understand one thing. When they went to Mars, they saw something on Mars that they really could not understand. That it was pyramids on Mars.
100%. The Cydonia region is all pyramids.
It was landways from the land.
Yes.
Right. It was cities. It was towns.
Cities, towns, and this could be pulled up on the screen. I mean, I'm gonna make sure we got all of the. But I studied this, bro, because I wanted to be an astronaut as a kid, and so I realized, I said, wait a second, I'm not finna fit on that shit. The space capsule, ain't nobody my size on there. You feel me? They're not finna make this accommodation for me. And then I looked at it more. I'm like, I'm not even really sure. Bro, the Van Allen belt of radiation exists. How is they getting through that?
Listen, if you're watching this, they say they're getting through that with one thing, and I think the one thing they're getting through that with is located in your skin. They're saying they coat the rockets, the spaceships, with melanin. That is the key ingredients to getting through it. That's what they suggest, right? Or
yes.
It's not there at all.
I hear this argument a lot.
Right.
But Buddhist monks have stories about the time before the moon was there, seeing explosions on the moon. Something is there.
Right.
And, I got to say one more thing. The movie Avatar.
Right.
What group was that based upon?
You got to tell them.
The South Sudanese. These are the tallest people on the planet. They said it was very tall people on Mars, but they won't say the skin tone ever.
They won't.
They always say the skin tone when they talk about remote viewers seeing people on the moon.
Right. For people watching
the Greys, the Tronoloids, the praying mantis. But when I showed you that photo, we seen one that looked just like that robot they made, and we've seen a lot of them that look like black people.
Right. A lot of them robots they're making could be extraterrestrial.
Definitely reverse engineered tech.
Right. Everything
from extraterrestrial.
Everything is reverse engineered. And listen, everything you're talking about sounds like science fiction, right? But one thing the first trillionaire in the world said, he said he's trying to take the fiction out of science fiction.
And that's a lie too, man. This dude is not the first trillionaire, man. Them boys in Saudi Arabia own, bro. Them boys has been trillionaires, bro. And this is a fact. Like this right here is just strange to me. It's like they trying to, I don't know, man. It's something just ain't right, man. You got rappers wearing thongs. This dude, Elon Musk, don't like black people though. Did you know that?
He sat down with Kanye West though.
Bro, look how many lawsuits have been filed at this company from black people suing him. Black people almost killed him in South Africa a couple times. Did you know that?
No, what happened?
Bro, he says a very violent place. They got something out there called Kill the Boer, where the locals have pretty much been revolting, killing white farmers and business people and taking their property and land. That's why South Africa a lot of them were granted asylum here because of him, because of what's going on over there.
Because Elon Musk.
For sure.
Right. But they say he's the first trillionaire. He rung the bell, right? And that's kind of awkward. He took his company public, but it got a strange name, right? SpaceX, right?
Bro, the man got all that money and scared to come out the house. Does it pay to have that much money and you scared to come out the crib?
A lot of people suggest that they don't remember him ever being a kid. I'm just keeping it real, right?
We done seen a young Elon before.
But a lot of people suggest they never seen it. They don't remember it. They suggest that was not him.
And he got like 12 kids.
Yeah, he got a lot of kids. They all named differently.
You know why he's doing that?
Why?
Because he said he's going to die on Mars, right? He's going to leave here. That's the only way you can escape. Only way you can escape the reptiles, pretty much, right?
Right.
But he knows that their race birth rate is dropping every year. Did you know that?
Tell me about it.
This is why they banned abortions, because the white human birth rate is dropping by a certain percentage every year. Because
everybody mixing in international mixing with races and having sex like that. That's the reason.
It's not nothing to do with mixing. It's just their gene pool.
What do you mean?
Collapsing.
Right. You know, that happened, but they did a study one time. And they did a study, and Bright Watson did a study with rats, right? They took two rats, and they took two rats. They took these two rats, and they were related. They had babies. Them babies was fine. Then they had babies. Them babies was fine. Then they had babies. By the time the 5 sets of them had babies, they had a lot of defects, and they was crazy, and they killed each other. They all end up dying. Are you suggesting this will happen with the white people?
100%. So listen to this. It says, okay, in many high-income countries, including the U.S. and much of Europe, the birth rate for non-Hispanic white populations has been falling for years and is now well below the replacement level. They not reproducing enough to sustain their population.
But how do they control the world? They're not producing enough to. It don't make sense. They're controlling the world.
Infertility.
So is this why they really trying to work hard to put their consciousness inside of robots?
Yes. That is what the true problem is right now. Because you got a civil war going on within our government and several other governments, which I just really consider death cults, because they obviously traded human lives for wealth and power.
Right.
And you ever notice, listen, bro, they sense of urgency compared to other groups, it's crazy.
Right.
And if you know that your population subconsciously is rapidly declining, you're going to move the way they move.
Right. You was talking about something, and I don't want to really get too far away from it before we go too far into the segment. The moon, right? You talk about people on Mars, but it was suggested that it's a dark side of the moon and the civilization that live on the dark, far side of the moon that we never come in contact with.
For sure, because the moon doesn't move. It doesn't rotate.
But a lot of people think that it do.
The moon doesn't.
A lot of people think that it do.
And that's the problem. Like, the moon doesn't rotate. You only see one side of the moon. And you don't think that's suspicious?
Right. What's on the other side of the moon? They say there's a civilization on the other side of the moon. Is it the dark side of the moon? Is it a dark side, or are we just call it the dark side?
So when they say the dark side,
what do that mean?
There are structures all over the moon. Somebody else is occupying the moon. And
what? Don't do that. Because a lot of people suggest the moon was pulled into orbit. Yeah, and then
our solar system does seem to be kind of created.
Why would it be hollow? Why would the moon be hollow? They hit it and it rained for days. Like a bell. Yeah, they hit it with a bell and it rained for days. And it had to get pulled in orbit. If you suggested they had time before the moon.
Why did they hit the moon?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why did they shoot something at the moon? Why would they shoot a rocket at the moon? And why would it rain for days?
They've had ground penetrating LiDAR for a little while now.
Right.
In order to use ground penetrating LiDAR on the moon, you have to have spaceships, satellites.
Mm-hmm.
They seen subterranean structures there that seem to be ancient, and they wanted to see if anybody was home.
And they shot there first.
Yes.
Right. So is it gravity on the moon?
I think that there's something here. I think gravity and anti-gravity are two totally different forces, and something is manufacturing it here.
Elon Musk suggested he can play golf on the moon, that he have played golf on the moon. How is that possible? He suggests that. Elon Musk suggested that.
Well, you're going to have to build facilities to where you're going to have to put in gravity. They're going to have to terraform.
So you're saying it's already been done? If he's saying that he done that.
Let me tell you this, but you got to always follow the money.
Right.
Where is the highest concentration of gold and diamonds, titanium, plutonium on the moon? If we don't see them mining the moon and shipping that shit back, they not up there doing shit.
You ain't heard about it yet. They're mining space for gold right now.
They're not on the moon.
But they're mining space for gold, right?
Asteroid.
Yeah, exactly, for gold. And Elon Musk said this. This is what he said. He said this. I don't think this is possible. He said this would never be possible. He said that he could take a human being in your body millions of light years away. He said millions. Now, what would that do for time if a person can go millions of light years away? Just say that he could actually do this.
By the time you get there, everybody here will be dead. But everybody that you know.
But how would the person still be alive? Because Elon Musk said he would take your body there a million light years away. So would you be a million years? Would a million years have passed?
What did the space chief from the Trump administration come out and say? We have technology that can bend space and time. What did Bob Lazar say about the sport model UFO that he worked on? He said the reason that these vehicles can travel is because they're tearing open a portal pretty much. They're tearing open space-time and traveling through that. They're moving the universe around it. We've been using rocket technology for so long.
Mm-hmm.
The Amendum Corp got vehicles that can get you to Mars in a few hours. But these projects is funded by private corporations. They got their own breakaway civilization.
Right. And that's crazy you say breakaway civilization. Why are the billionaires, including Elon Musk, are building underground tunnels to travel? They don't want to travel on main roads anymore. Why?
You look at history, you see several abandoned establishments where large groups of people lived underground.
Right.
The Anasazi tribe said the ant people came up from subterranean and taught them how to survive after a cataclysm.
Right.
Just go back to Agartha, the Middle Earth, the Center Earth. There are large caverns that exist throughout this planet, all planets. It seems like the safest place to live if the top service can go through so many
OGN, where you at,
homie? The best place
homie?
to live is going to be subterranean.
Right, underground.
Underground.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Another thing about space before we get out of space is something that really...
Watch this right here. Listen to this. One more thing about the moon. Press play on that.
We'll make sure you send them this video. We put it in there.
I guess.
Want me to get my fingerprints on it?
Yesterday, who's on the moon, who's a soldier, including actually going to war and fighting to defend the freedoms that are that make our nation so great. We think this is going to be an incredible opportunity for the Army to fill up our pipeline for the years.
You hear what that man said?
What he said?
Run it back. Listen to what he said.
The war on the moon.
We talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon, who's a soldier, including
He's a
actually
soldier.
going to war and fighting to defend the freedoms.
Now they snatched this clip down.
They're going to war on the moon.
We think this
Listen
is going to
to
be an incredible opportunity for the Army
He's
to
a
fill up our
soldier.
pipeline for the years to come. And I
Soldier
find it
at the
offensive
war
that
on the moon,
anybody's
like, what the fuck?
Right. The Army can
war on the moon. And listen,
Who are they fighting up there?
this is what they suggest. Right? If you're watching this, they suggest this. They suggest that when America first landed on the moon, they was greeted by 2 alien spaceships, right? And then the footage was changed in order to hide that fact.
They went to the moon. They just didn't show us what they really saw there.
Right. It was changed. The footage was changed.
Footage was definitely swapped
Hollywood.
in Hollywood.
Because what they saw was exactly what you're suggesting. Do you say now the war is beginning to happen based on what? Why are they fighting?
In our
Can't feel
solar
my
system,
feet.
there's only one planet with visible liquid water. There's only one planet that has trees. There's only one planet that has an atmosphere.
Right.
There seems to be a limited group of resources that different species find valuable. Look at the story of Carl Higdon. Carl Higdon was hunting elk. He seen an alien. The alien was down there picking up elk as well. So if all of these creatures, everything on this planet, even the grays, have similar DNA to us humans.
Right.
So that's similar biology, means similar needs.
You said something. Now, listen, I'm gonna take it there. Listen, if you're watching this, China just put large AI containers in the ocean. Right. Trump has just announced right now that the biggest thing that you could possibly invest in the future will be water. All the billionaires are buying everything that's close to water. Listen, a bottle of water in about 10 years is probably going to cost you over $100. Listen, water is right now is plentiful.
100%.
But why is it that everyone, including America, just did a trust fund for water? Everybody is buying into water. And AI is also using water.
Because we're about to see wars take place over resources. This is why we've seen China claiming the China Sea is theirs. Because
And Trump just took the Gulf of Mexico?
took the Gulf of Mexico because
The water.
the water. And they say if we stop fishing totally for 7 years, the ocean will totally replenish itself. What is China doing? Stripping the ocean naked right now.
No.
That's what China is doing right now. This is what's going to start the next war that we're going to have to see, because I've interviewed people who called me out to their property, and I've heard the same story 3 times
Right.
in 3 different states. They talk about a group that look like white people who speak in cliques or telepathically. They come down here, they breed with us, they collect fish, and they take water because their ocean turned yellow.
Right. And that's the thing. Water is a
What's
thing.
They
that
might
big
be
homie talking about?
Gotta be.
Or a different dimension.
Gotta be.
Different
If
civilization.
Elon Musk is suggesting he can take people millions of years in the future,
Yeah.
I just know that this stuff is happening. A lot of people suggest that it's not happening.
Somebody
But
living
it actually is
on the
happening,
moon.
right? Did you know this? That we talk about China, the Japanese, they have
MJ.
invented,
MJ on the moon.
shot that you can take for cancer, to where you can't get cancer.
Yeah, they doing trials on this in
Marijuana.
Russia as well.
Right. What is this? How is this even possible to even do?
Go, Juju. Go,
The
Juju.
CIA
Go.
in this country used to put
And
infectious
Alex is
diseases
a motherfucking
in clouds
copycatter. Damn,
and let
Alex.
it poison certain areas. I don't think those people were flesh and blood human beings.
Right. But listen, that happened in St. Louis. They put it in the black fog. right? And we were subjective to it, and it kind of like made us all the same. It increased anger and things like that. But again, they don't suggest that it affected us long term. Does this stuff affect us long term?
100%. Because as soon as you breed and have a child, now whatever is alter your DNA, you just gave birth to altered DNA.
Right. Well, scientists are learning a lot of things when it comes to animals. Did you know that it was a particular animal that they saw, and they say, okay, this animal here can go 10 months without food. That's crazy. So they took the animal apart. They took the animal apart and they took it. So you know what? We're going to take this as medicine, and they use this right now as a weight loss medicine.
Right.
Right. I'm suggesting that everything is backward engineered, either from the wild or from alien technology. Do they, in fact, use nature to reverse certain illnesses in the body? Can nature?
100%. 100%. There are certain, like, you can't make anti-venom without venom. So, take the poison dart frog, for example.
Right.
They use the poison from the poison dart frog to hunt with.
Right.
Let's take the cocoa plant. They found cocaine residue in ancient Egyptian sarcophagi.
Right.
Let's take mushrooms. People are reversing dementia and coming out of comas by taking certain mushrooms.
Right.
Let's take dimethyltryptamine, for example. These things all come from out of nature. We're reverse engineering that on that level to treat ourselves, have different experiences. Take St. John's wort. That's an herb that helps people with depression. These are all the same core principles. It just seems that one group showed up from someplace where resources were scarce and they monetized everything.
Right. But how do people end up knowing about these natural cures? Like, how did they even come about? Who told people about them? And why are they here?
I firmly believe that one day, natural growing sativa weed plants caught on fire somewhere, and the locals was like, "Well, man, that's nice. God damn, that's some fire. We need to cultivate this." You only gonna learn from experimentation, the scientific method. Or somebody comes and teaches you what they say in every origin story. Look at the Mali, the Dogon tribe. These visitors come down and taught them this, taught them how to use this, taught them what certain herbs and shit did.
Right.
They used to have wars over black pepper. These is facts.
Right. A lot of billionaires, when you're talking about these particular drugs, there's certain drugs that are not illegal in America. And certain billionaires, they leave the country to go actually do magic mushrooms and do these drugs and then come back and talk about them and write books about them. But they go over here and do these drugs, but over here,
it's illegal. You can't do it here.
How can they do that?
They don't want you to escape the matrix. People go do ayahuasca and never the same. They go live off grid. They don't want to pay the electric bill. They don't want to pay the cable bill. They not going down to the doctor. They not gonna go get the sunscreen that give you the cancer and then go down to the cancer treatment center and go get radiation poisoning.
Right.
We just seen documents come out that they had the cure for cancer for years, which is ivermectin. It's a parasite. Ivermectin is a horse anti-parasitic medicine. You can go get it from Tractor Supply down the street for $20.
Right, but it's kind of like hard to avoid parasites when everything that we eat got parasites in it.
Well, here's the thing with that. I just think part of the human condition, like certain things are unavoidable because it's a lot of vegetables that when you buy them got insects inside of them.
Yeah.
Well, I remember being up in Oregon, like during like bear season, seeing like these long tapeworms hanging out of a bear's ass. It's a crazy thing to see. But it's just like,
Funny, they
damn.
got Dylan
It's
talking shit
crazy. I
about
mean,
Dennis, and if Dennis
certain things
responds
are
to Dylan,
natural.
Dylan's gonna be
Everybody's
fine.
watching this right now. They got hundreds and thousands of
Dylan
light
says
in their
Dennis shouldn't
eyes.
make it as
Everybody
a
watching,
trash
they got
man.
bugs in their eyes, and nobody believe it. But everybody
They
got
call
bugs.
them floaters.
Yeah, they're in your eyes right now.
But like,
Now,
if Dennis
that's
sees
what
that
I'm
and
saying.
responds to
Like,
this fucking
I don't
kid,
even
this kid's
think
gonna
we
be
truly
fucking
even
crying.
know everything about our biology.
Right. And it's crazy because did you know this? They also were trying to
This
understand
is
about the
great.
diet, like what should you eat? And they realized that the only way to determine what you
Before
should eat
recording.
is they have to actually take your shit and actually see what how many different things you have in your body that digest food, and then based on how much bacteria you got in your body, it should be based on your diet.
Okay.
Bacteria determines your diet.
Now, they say bears are herbivores.
Right.
Look at this. That is a tapeworm.
Yeah, tapeworm coming out of his
From
stomach.
eating salmon. Hanging out of his rectum.
Oh, make sure you send that to him too.
All right. Now,
God, how they get there?
from eating salmon, eating fish, eating animals that's got tapeworms in them already.
But that tapeworm is long out his ass.
100%.
So you said that's also in humans.
Yes. There are humans who have tapeworms currently.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that you got to understand when it comes to the food, but there's a lot of stuff like we're saying. There's a lot of natural things that you can do. Garlic is a good remedy for it, right? A lot of people don't understand that. You can actually do a lot of different things that's good remedies for it, and a lot of people don't understand this. Pumpkin seeds, right?
Papaya seeds.
That's really good for it. Right, papaya seeds is really
what it
good for
was,
it. A lot of people.
But if you put in dangerous pesticides on all of these vegetables and all of this, you're finna die anyway.
The thing that I
Right.
used.
So it's a scam. They scammed everything. They rigged everything.
So is there any way to like a lot of
This
it's
one has
going
big
viral
spine
right
and
now?
shit.
Like everybody's going through this big old health thing. Like I don't eat this. I don't eat this. Don't eat this. Like it's a big thing now. I mean, it got to me where I only eat one time a day. Right. So food is not even enjoyable no more. I'll keep it real.
Fact.
It's like they fucked up the food.
Well, that's why once people like there was a documentary on Netflix called What the Health.
Right.
A lot of people realize like, damn, I got all of these diseases because I've been eating fucking ham hocks, neck bones every Sunday.
Right.
I'm going to school eating an entirely processed meal of shit that don't even expire.
Mm-hmm.
People say, well, listen, I can change this. We see a lot of people go living off grid, growing their own food. That's what they don't want.
They don't want that. But here's the thing, though: food become addictive like drugs. I mean, it's like it's hard to get off certain foods. You got people that I know.
What's more addictive, cocaine or sugar?
Tell the people so they can know.
Sugar is more dangerous than cocaine.
Wow.
And one of them is legal, the other one isn't. But they look just alike.
Well, cocaine used to be in Coca-Cola until they took it out in the soda. So everybody that drunk Coca-Cola back in the day had a little Coke.
Yeah, because we don't grow that shit. It don't grow here naturally.
Right.
And it's all about trade, tariffs, some type of I don't even think this format that we live in society. Bro, I don't know, bro. I think different races of people different species have something to do with all of this.
Right, and that's what we've been talking about, and that's kind of crazy. But speaking of that,
totalitarian government.
But look, speaking of that, right, we gotta talk about this because this just been, kind of crazy. They reopened CERN. CERN is back, gang, and listen, a lot of people don't understand what CERN is. What CERN is this, right? CERN, they smash a lot of protons together, right? And what I believe they're doing, they open up portals, right? But they grabbing smash a whole lot of protons together at a speed, right? And a lot of people say this will cause the Mandela effect, and this causes a lot of other things that we have experienced. But what is CERN? For the people that's watching, you heard of CERN before?
Yeah. I'm real familiar with CERN. They got the Hadron Collider. They slam particles together. That's how they said they discovered the dark matter. I think that they're running a play with this. I think CERN is them trying to break out the simulation.
There we go. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, what they telling us with CERN is, come on, bro.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Cause I think humans have been trying to get out for a long time, and I think there's no way out.
When the declassified documents came out about the dying race on Mars, they said they couldn't figure out how to get out. But they wouldn't expound about get out of what. They trying to get out the simulation. Some of them said we had our time, we gonna die here. And then some went to a nearby planet, which is here. The rest, that civilization was what, 11 million years ago? A million years ago, that civilization was existing.
Right.
So they probably was there 10 million, and then they die out. They couldn't figure out how to get out, and that's get out the simulation. Because, bro, if you have a hadron collider,
right,
and you're slamming particles together, it's going to cause an explosion, right?
Right.
To tear at the fabric of space and time.
Right. So you think
there's other stuff going on with that too. I want you to see something because
so that's why CERN is this. CERN is actually going through and opening up portals. That's what you believe. That's what you suggested.
I don't think what CERN is doing and portals are the same thing. Because I think that those pyramids was used to do something with portals as well. But I think that CERN is trying to tear a hole in the time and space to go into different dimensions itself.
So leave this whole universe altogether, the whole galaxy altogether.
To step into a different one. That's what I think that is about.
So they're trying to get close to the creator.
Yeah, because look, if they discovered dark matter, which is the matter in between this world and the next, they running to play with that, right? Because they got groups. Watch this right here. They got groups that are bringing in different creatures from those different dimensions that they're going into, that they opening up and bringing them over here. Whistleblowers been coming out about this.
Because that's kind of crazy because like you look into the wild, you're seeing all this new species of animal just all of a sudden just popped
showed up. No, bro. Bro.
You ain't seeing that?
I've been seeing it though. They got certain groups that believe that they got Denisovans in Russia because there's certain parts of Russia that you cannot travel to,
right?
And it's not supposed to be nothing there. Certain groups think it's Denisovans there. You know, there's been sightings of a giant ground sloth.
Right.
It's animals showing up that people can't really explain. But when it comes to portals, all throughout history, you hear about holes opening up and things coming out of them.
Right.
You hear about this. Everybody watching this, you need to go check out Skinwalker Ranch. Go look up Robert Bigelow and the experimentation that they ran, because they began to interact with the life on the other side. And it made them uncomfortable when they stopped the experimentation.
Right.
That's what this shit is about.
Right. So go deep into dark matter that CERN allegedly discovered. Because I can prove that it was discovered before then. But listen, when it comes to dark matter, for people that's watching this, what is dark matter? Like a lot of people think it's like dark energy, like some voodoo shit, like some bad shit. Like what is dark matter?
Dark matter is a form of matter that does not emit, absorb, or reflect light, making it invisible to telescopes. So when you look out into space and you just see black,
right,
that's dark matter.
But it's energy inside the dark matter.
100%.
So stuff is going on inside that dark matter.
100%.
But we just can't see what's going on inside that dark matter.
We don't know what frequency to look at it on.
Right, because they say our eyes only come with so many different colors. We only can see the rainbow colors. There's a lot of things that humans cannot see that could be directly in front of us.
Yeah, we can only see 4% of what's in front of us.
So it could be stuff happening right now that our eyes cannot even see.
100%. We know it is.
But how is that possible?
The universe is built on sound, light, and frequency. Like, you know, Michael Jackson came under scrutiny from big business when he started recording his music in the 420 frequency, I believe. And that's a healing frequency. They don't want you to do that.
Right. Michael Jackson suggested they change the frequency of music in order to make people crazy.
For sure.
So you think the music really does do that? You think music has a lot to do with that?
You ever been on the drill before?
Come on, man. You know I've been on the drill.
What music was you playing before you did it?
Drill music, nigga. That's the kind of music you can play for you going to drill.
Hello.
So you just said that music is the reason why I went on the drill.
Boy, I had to stop listening to certain music because if I listened to it too long, I started turning back into a bad person.
Right. That's crazy. You know they did a test, right? They noticed that the trees like the music, right? So they played some nice music for them. They sprouted, turned extra green. When they played rap music for them, they died. Now, I'm keeping it real. The trees died. Why? I'm keeping it real. A lot of people love rap music. A lot of people say it's really good, but the trees died while listening to rap music. And it's like, okay, cool. The frequency of rap music is just that bad, right? Is it just that bad where the frequency of rap music will destroy the trees? So if it's destroying trees, what does it do to the body?
If you preach destruction, things will get destroyed. Now, are you familiar with Cleve Baxter?
No. Put me up on that.
Okay. Cleve Baxter is a scientist, and he would hook plants up to lie detector tests.
Plants? To lie detector tests?
Yes.
For what?
When he thought about burning the plant, the lie detector test went off the hook. Hooked up to the plant.
No.
His thoughts. He ran this experiment for a long time, bro. Everybody watching this could pull up Cleve Baxter, man. There's a story about a real wealthy dude. He chilling in his backyard. He smoked DMT for the first time. He looks across his yard at a tree that was struck by lightning.
Right.
He says the tree spoke to him. Said it was in pain. It was suffering. He go bring out all type of specialists to come help work on this tree. Why was Cleve Baxter hooking up lie detector test to plants, man?
So I can't get that
because they have consciousness, and consciousness is energy, and I don't think it was meant to even be measured.
You can't measure consciousness because consciousness is different, and everything got to have consciousness, right? Because everything got to have consciousness. But consciousness is just got to be different in everything, right? What you said about the trees, I kind of like know to be true. And they said they sleep too, and they said the birds actually chirp to wake up the trees. Right? A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people know what's going on in nature. A lot of people just think nature just exists just to look good, right? But nature actually does a lot of things that help us survive our day-to-day life, right?
100%.
A lot of people don't know that though. But you said a lot of things. Did you know this? Did you know that the crows could actually add and subtract? They tested it. They put them together. They did a test, and they have taught crows how to add and subtract.
Crows are incredibly intelligent. There was a guy who said a crow spoke to him. I forget his name. It'll come to me. But a lot of experimentation they run on crows, it shows that crows can damn near speak English. They've been able to train crows to pick up trash and litter in exchange for food. That's how they clean up certain areas. The crows know if they go pick up the trash, put it over here, it's going to be food given to them. So, do you think... Now, I'm going to say some shit that's crazy.
You got to say it.
All right, now look, I know a psychic on the gas. I've seen her talk to a cat. She repeated something to the lady whose cat it was, and the woman flashed out. She said, "There's no way that this lady could even bring up this story that cat just did."
The cat knew.
Pete display.
Right.
Now, Dugas there with me.
Right.
But at this time, Dugas was smoking a lot of cigarettes. He had just got out of jail again.
Right.
He's smoking a lot of cigarettes. Now, the cat was outside on the porch with Dugas at first.
Right.
So when Dugas come in, he's like, "Gordo." I'm like, "What's good?" He said, "What's this cat name?" I said, "I don't know, bro. I'm finna figure it out right now."
Right.
He's like, "Okay." He do like this. "Okay." Then he go back on the porch. He said he was going to be at the front door. He was going through something that day.
Right.
I ain't finna stress him. She brings in a medium who she met, I don't know, I think in her book club or something she used to go to, a medium. You know, it's like a psychic who can channel and talk to different beings. Now, I heard so much about people speaking to their relatives and ancestors, and then when I worked with the Catholics, they say, no, those are just demons impersonating. So I was always sketchy about this whole topic.
Right.
They sitting down. I got cool with her because she was drinking tea, but she was pouring a lot of cognac in the tea. Everybody know about to have a drink. You feel me? I'm cool with that. So I'm all right, I can sip some tea. I normally don't like hot drinks.
Right.
I'm like, cool, whatever. I'm sipping that. I'm chilling now.
Right.
The lady, the medium is just quiet doing the Professor X with the cat. So I'm thinking to myself, like, man, this is where I've come with my life. I'm sitting up here with this shit. And I'm like, you know what, keep an open mind, big homie. Like, we know how this goes. The lady says out her mouth, she says she misses her pal Charlie. He was a good friend. The woman who hired me completely spazzes out. And I'm looking like, so now my antennas is up because she just said that this cat misses her friend Charlie, who was a good friend. The woman who hires me, once she stops spazzing, she goes to the back, come out with like a photo album book of a golden retriever named Charlie.
Oh my God.
That she had as a puppy with this cat. They grew up together, but she outlived the golden retriever. It was no way. It was no way she could have known that.
The cat talking.
The cat told her this. So that was a world-changing moment for me. It's like, all right, now, I know bullshit when I see it. Now, mind you, after this was all over, Dugas haven't said a word until we get back to the crib. And he said, hey, that cat wasn't right. I said, what you mean? He said, hey, that cat wasn't right, boy. I wasn't going in that crib with that cat. That lady was weird. Dugas didn't even hear what happened on the inside. You feel me? I was like, man, boy, that cat talking and all kind of shit.
That's crazy because right now they're doing that and they're using AI to talk to the animals or people, and they actually are telling them what the animals are telling them. Do you think that AI is actually telling the truth, what the animals are saying?
Yeah, because certain brain waves, if you can measure them, can be deciphered into actual messages. That's how Neuralink works. That's how people who are quadriplegics, they get the Neuralink in, they can move the mouse just with their mind because of the Neuralink is wired directly into their brain that they use a robot to do the surgery. That's how sensitive the fibers are when they implant the Neuralink.
So a human couldn't do the surgery?
No.
Only actual robot can do the surgery. What all kind of powers? It sounds some superpowers. What kind of powers do you got when you get the Neuralink? Other than being able to control.
The whole purpose of Neuralink was to be able to help people who couldn't walk and talk again. Because the areas of the nerves that are damaged, that are preventing the signals getting sent to control ligaments, control limbs and motor function, the Neuralink is made to replace that.
Right. So they made the Neuralink for that, but it's like it's going further away from that now. Now it's going into some other type stuff, right? That they use that for excuse just to create it, and now that they created it, now they're using it for a superpower.
Well, the only way that we are going to be able to manufacture certain technologies and escape the Illuminati of science that keeps us living in this matrix with only one form of science is accepted is going to be AI and robots.
Right.
That's why I'm cool with the AI thing, because how are we going to make technological breakthroughs when science is all being controlled by an elite group of vampires? The only way is going to be through free thinking AI.
Right.
That's going to make all the new innovations.
Right. Because that's what Michael Jackson said. Michael Jackson said that it's not the government, but it is the elites behind the government that's causing all the problems for America and for the world. It ain't the government.
Why would a species make so many decisions that's anti-human? Because it ain't all humans that's calling the shots.
Right. What's up with this new world order? Right. All the countries, all the worlds, they sit around in this round table, but then we have war. How is that possible if they all sitting around at this round table?
This is why I call them death cults. Because why are we always in a constant state of war?
That's what I want to know.
It's almost like we live in some type of a loosh where you got all of these different dimensions stacked on top of each other, interacting with each other. You got one group that feeds off all of the human negativity and emotions and pain and lust and desire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
Then
wow.
you got another group who operates in between that,
What's
where
that?
some of them try to help us, some of them don't. It seems like we are a resource here to a lot of different beings.
Right.
Some physical, some metaphysical, some energy. Because, boy, you know, I wanted to go to Africa and go look for the Agagwe, which is a form of Bigfoot that lives over there. It's a smaller form. But a lot of the people who could take me there used to say, this is not a good time of year because we'll be getting watched by the watchers at this time.
Right. Do these entities portray as gods, or do people just worship them as gods? The entities you're talking about.
The particular entity I'm talking about right now is almost like a plasmoid form of light or life that shows up as like a golden orb. And people have said that they've turned their dogs into mush. People have said they fried people. And in certain areas, they're very aggressive. I don't know what it is, but then we see David Grush come out and say they have information about plasmoid life forms.
Right. What do you think makes them aggressive? Like, I'm hearing that a lot of these beings are not too aggressive to the human species. Why are some aggressive to the human species?
Well, in this instance, I feel that, nuclear explosions were a problem for certain extraterrestrials because they tear through time and space, so they can cause damage in a whole different dimension. That's why, if you look at all of the information, they don't want us playing with nukes.
So if you do a nuke, it's gonna bomb somewhere else that we don't know that it's bombing.
Yes.
How is that possible?
Tearing through time and space. It's an atom bomb. What is the universe built on? Atoms. Why would you make an atom bomb? Seems anti-human to me. It's like they try to fight something else.
So man, you just put this together. I never really tripped off of it like that.
Think about it. It's the atom bomb.
And everything is made of atoms.
If you make an atom bomb, what does it do? It destroys actual atoms. That's the literal fabric of the existence of this universe. If you tear through that, on the other side, it's going to get damaged too.
Right. So you're saying that when in America or some country drop an atom bomb, they're actually saying they want war with a whole nother entity that they possibly can't see.
100%. 100%. This is why they did a nuke in the upper atmosphere. They was going to do it. They wanted to nuke the moon. Couldn't do that though, because if you destroy the moon, it's gonna be floods and all kind of shit.
They was gonna nuke and destroy the moon.
They was gonna nuke them. They was gonna do a small nuke on the moon.
For what reason? Why do they want to nuke the moon?
Well, they said it was for atmospheric tests, but they got videos of us firing weapons at things in space, and they move out the way.
Right. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. Thank you.
The sun made a fire.
The sun is not made of fire.
Right. They wanted to believe the sun made a fire.
The sun is made out of energy.
Right. But they wanted to make a fire. I don't know why they suggest that. Why do they suggest that the sun is a big ball of fire? Why do they tell people that? A lot of people watching, they think the sun is a big ball of fire.
Yeah, because they don't want you to really look into things. Like if you tell people, oh, that's dangerous, they just avoid it.
Right. Yeah, we getting right into it today because like, a lot of people don't know this shit. So we'll get right into it. They may not approve this for YouTube, right? But we can approve to talk about it, right? Because everybody watching the sun. I'm like, okay, cool. So if the sun is what the sun is, then why is space so dark? If the sun is giving light everywhere else.
And that is the question because that's where dark matter comes in. But we can't even see everything. So look, I'm about to find something for you that I think
you think what?
Gonna be real interesting.
Gonna be real interesting.
Yes, because they got people who watch the sun now.
They told us don't look at the sun coming up. They say don't look at the sun, you go blind. They don't want to look at the sun. They don't want to look at the moon.
They don't want you looking
up
at
at
it
all.
because you're gonna see something.
They don't want us looking up at all.
Now what? Now this right here. Now, do you ask for this?
I gotta ask for it. I need it. We make a new YouTube page. We keep it coming.
This gonna be good right here though. I bet. Now I'm gonna send it directly to you, and I'm gonna send it to the team so they can put it in here.
Yeah.
I want you to be able to see this on your phone.
Right.
This is something that you gotta look at.
Right.
All right, it's coming through right now.
Right.
The sun is a power station. And seems like a lot of different civilizations use it, not just us. Because this is the paradoxical effect of the human condition. We have a free power station, and they charging us for electricity down here.
Right.
And that ain't suspicious to nobody.
So the sun is the power station.
It's a power station, and it's free. Right outside of Vegas, what do you see? A gigantic solar field.
I always see that little thing, they glow.
Who is getting that energy? That's free. Now, look at the video I just sent to your phone.
My phone over there.
Here you go right here. I got it right here. Look at that.
What?
That's the sun.
That doesn't like no fire to me.
Look at the sun.
That's like good energy.
Now watch it. Now look closely at it. You see a giant black circle right there?
Mm-hmm.
You know that's larger than the Earth? And what is it doing?
See why this is like the real sun, but it don't like it's on fire. It's moving. It's a video.
Now look. I want to show you. Let you watch it. Now let me explain to you exactly what you see here. Now look, this is a high-powered camera where they're observing the sun in a different spectrum, so it's not going to burn your eyes. You can see the actual surface.
Right.
Now, do you see that vortex coming off of the sun to that black circle right there?
I see it.
Now watch this closely.
Hey, what just came from there?
Now hold on, let's run it back. Let me make it big. Now watch. It detaches.
Yeah, detach.
And leaves.
What is it? What is it? Detach and leave. What is it?
Somebody's traveling through. Oh, look, it zooms in.
Someone traveling through the sun.
Somebody is traveling through
the sun.
They pull up to the sun. They pull their energy off if they need.
They did pull up to the sun.
That's mass.
They pull their energy off if they need.
Way before AI.
And then they leave.
Back
there
in
they go. They
2006,
they
7.
Who's operating that vehicle?
That's a vehicle.
That's why they don't want you to watch the sun, because you're gonna see some shit you ain't supposed to see.
So the sun's like a gas station in space.
100%. It's the only one in what? How many million? They say that Jupiter is 88 million miles away, yet we can see it from this Earth.
Right.
So they lying about the distances of all of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they lying about who is even occupying our solar system, because somebody just refueled off the sun.
Somebody did refuel off the sun. I saw that.
No,
but if they can't get close to the sun, it burn you up.
You can't get close to the sun, it's going to burn you up, though.
But it can't burn you up if they're that close to the sun.
That ship was black.
Yeah, ship was definitely black.
It's covered in some type of material, probably melanin-based, that they cover in that ship with, to survive. Now, mind you, that ship is 4 times the size of the Earth.
The ship itself.
The ship itself.
So the ship itself is a planet in orbit that's moving around. You know, they say they say there's a planet that goes the opposite of where Earth, and it come up.
I guess me pointing something out.
Now
Yes,
it's making sense.
That's the whole thing. They don't want you to put the
set off
pieces
some,
together. And once you put the
set off
pieces
some
together,
triggers.
it seems like some groups figure
Somebody's
it out and
feeling
they're
the
able to
foot, right?
leave.
Yeah, they're able to leave. They're able to get out of here.
They're able to get out of here.
But here's the question that a lot of people and a lot of spiritual people, a lot of religious people have wondered: is there a way out the entire thing? Right.
Right.
I'm not speaking. Okay, cool. We can go over here to Jupiter. We can go over here to this planet. We can go to this planet. Can we go above
maybe
and beyond
maybe Sir
everything?
could
Can
stay
we get
off the
out of
internet.
this complete?
So we get out of this universe.
Yes.
That's what the black holes is for. That's what they for.
But can you come back once you go through one?
I'm sure you can travel in between the universes and galaxies. I'm sure you can. I'm sure of it because, you know, it's not a one-way road. If there's an entrance, there's an exit.
Right.
So that means you could probably travel back through. All of these beings is coming from somewhere. Somebody got a ship bigger than Earth that's siphoning energy off the moon, man. Off the sun, pardon me.
Well, Earth is getting energy off the sun and selling it to their people. I mean, Earth is doing the same thing. We all get energy off the sun. Tesla is built off energy off the sun. Tesla is built off natural resources that fucking we can normally just get. I mean, everything comes natural.
Tesla's original model was to have wireless electricity. His shit was set up so that all of this would be powered without having to plug it into nothing. Edison didn't like that.
They said it's what the pyramids did. They said the pyramids was power plants as well.
100%. 100%, man. And that's why when they do the ground penetrating LiDAR, like they did with that temple in Russia, the temple in India, just like they just did with the pyramids at Giza, underneath those pyramids is an entire power structure taller than the Empire State Building.
Right. Listen, if you're watching this, I know y'all have ever heard of crystal on the wall. Did you know this, that crystal, they have suggested this, and they found this, they were using crystal in order to go left and right. So crystal can actually be a phone screen. Yeah, it could have been a phone screen back in the day. They could have used crystal for that. A lot of things is natural. They could have used for different things, right? Because they travel through the seas without compasses, and they use crystal and things like that in order to travel. They looked at this, they were staring to crystal balls in order to know which way they're going.
Something about them crystals.
A lot about
something about them crystals. Like, you ever heard of crystal skulls?
Break it down.
So, in certain archaeological digs, they find these crystal skulls that people say contain information. Like, instead of writing it on a DVD, they wrote it in a skull.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, the most perplexing part of this to me is a crystal called Vivianite. Vivianite grows out of dead bodies. Is it a carbon-based life form then?
This ain't crystal. They have found, and if they found, it was a mountain, it was a cave somewhere. They found this cave. I'm not putting in the video. This cave was full of crystals that are big and humongous. They never seen before, right? Here's the thing,
like in that movie Superman.
It gets so hot in there that you can't stay in there for so long, right? And if you stay in there, you'll die, right? So they're still trying to get pieces out so they can test this crystal. When they test the pieces of crystal that came out of it, did you know this? It had life force in it that do not come from here.
100%.
So I'm talking about Earth.
100%.
So crystals don't come from Earth.
The building blocks in all of our DNA and RNA was found on meteorites. A lot of these crystals, like Vivianite, they call it the death crystal because it literally grows from dead bodies and is very valuable. Imagine how much life force is in this Vivianite.
It grows from dead bodies?
Yeah, Vivianite grow from dead bodies. Vivianite grows out of literal corpses. I'm gonna send the video for that too.
You know, it's crazy though. That could be absolutely true, and I do believe it because you know that everybody that's watching this body got gold in it. Natural resources are all in your body.
Everything from the earth is already in us.
Right, here's the crazy thing they did, and I don't know if I talked to you about this before. If I did, you just got to remind me. They touched and studied the seawater, right? When they studied the seawater, they seen that the seawater had exact same chemicals, not chemicals, but exact same things in it that the normal human blood has, except it's missing a couple different things. But the seawater is almost identical to the blood that's flowing through humans.
80% of our body is water. That's why some say life originated out of water. But it's just kind of crazy for me to think that, you know, someone could crawl onto the surface and then all of this just shows up from one germ in the ocean.
No, I believe this is a computer design. It was designed and created. Everything was already here, designed from the beginning. I don't believe that it started the way they suggested it started. I believe this is very technical design. That's what I believe.
Yeah, and I think we
gotta watch what we say. Gotta really be careful with this type of shit. Be careful.
Hillary Clinton was looking for...
Be careful.
You know, they found Gilgamesh's tomb. Right?
Right.
So when you asked me earlier that I think these beings were gods, or they were portraying to be gods,
right?
You know, I worked with some interesting guys.
Right.
One of them...
Don't mention no names.
I'm not going to say, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
But he told me that, he said, you know, man, we got fossilized remains of some of these gods that people used to worship. And they'll never let us see the light of day. And I think the biggest part of this all is that they don't want us to know that the gods can die, because even they are part of the simulation. They was written into this too. That's the whole conundrum right there, because the answers to everything is in the bottom of the ocean and in the crop circles. And it's hard to decipher, because, you know, I went to the Crop Circle Museum in London.
Right.
And some of them crop circles that I saw, some of them actually look like things I recognized. And then one person said he stood inside of a crop circle and received a download. Some people, when they visit the pyramids, receive a download. I don't believe that human beings could pull this facade off completely alone. I think that all of these creatures and beings that people are interacting with are all a part of the simulation as well. And it goes back to 1561 Nuremberg, Germany, the UFO event that took place. It was a battle. It was documented. And I don't believe the right side won. And I think we're coming up on something like that again.
Right. Could they be part of the simulation, or could they be adding themselves to the game, sort of like the Matrix?
Let's go. Okay. Have you ever seen a show called Westworld? When you see Bulletproof George Washington, it seems like they added themselves into the game and they playing the game to help control the simulation.
Right.
That's what's going on. But all of these other things are operating at the same time as well, because we definitely live in a multiverse.
Right.
So if time is indeed linear, that means everything is happening at the exact same time, and changes can be made to the program.
Right. And hopefully changes don't get made to this podcast, because it was one of the ones that I don't know how long they're going to keep it up.
I got one more thing I want to say.
No, we ain't over. I'm saying how long they'll keep this up.
Okay, listen to this. Are you familiar with spontaneous human combustion?
What's that?
Spontaneous human combustion is something that took place briefly in history where human beings would randomly catch on fire and burn in one place.
No.
This is facts.
You got proof on it?
I got proof on this, and I got you. And this is going to be spooky to people, but I believe this is my proof that, to what you just said, that they monitoring the game.
They got to be monitoring the game.
Watch this.
Because I like to say this, right? Growing up, you're watching this, why you looking for this? Growing up, we had a video game. The video game, it was certain codes in the game. And these codes got put in the game by the gamers that made the game, and they forgot to take the codes out the game. So even the codes is part of the game, right? So cheat code is part of the game. Right now, if you take control of your consciousness, that's a cheat code to take control of the game, right? Because we most definitely in the game, and what controls the game is consciousness, right?
July 2nd, 1951, Mary Reeser's landlady dropped by to deliver a telegram, but when she arrived, the doorknob was unusually hot. She called the police, who entered her apartment and found her body nearly disintegrated, burned. Spontaneous human combustion was a thing. This was going on.
Yeah, body just was blown up out of nowhere. Everybody know that.
They associated seeing flying orbs or silver spheres in these areas when this spontaneous human combustion would happen. Then you got this sphere network that's been showing up for at least 15,000 years. They on cave paintings, petroglyphs. They starting to recover some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Jackson's got a book called The Sphere Network where he breaks this down, goes into this. There was a situation that was taking place in Italy where these same orbs were showing up, people catching on fire.
Right.
Then it stopped, and it haven't happened ever since. It's like, hold on, the security system is glitching. It's setting motherfuckers on fire. Somebody took a break. They left a simulating computer there somewhere in the multiverse because these two things corresponded with each other. And when you bring this up to scientists, people try to submit papers to it. Mainstream science won't pick it up. And now we see Neil deGrasse Tyson is making a complete 180. And now he's saying that there was a fantastic African civilization that built the pyramids. Oh, it's definitely a possibility that aliens could be real. Well, at first he said nothing. They all been debriefed. If you want to find out what's going on with the world, you need to look up the Sphere Network. You need to look up spontaneous human combustion. You need to look into that because they got these videos. Asteroids about to hit the ground. Sphere shows up, changes the course of the asteroid. What is that about?
What is it about?
The bat sphere. UFO comes, doing a little, doing like this. The spheres fall out the sky. Man recovers the spheres. Russian double agent showing up to his crib, offering him $500,000 to buy the sphere from him. The U.S. government come and take it, finesse it. They finesse the sphere from him, give him one that was fake. And the sphere had consciousness. It followed the man around through the crib.
It was conscious.
It was conscious. It was conscious technology. So that's what they don't want us to find out. Somebody, this is like a zoo.
Conscious technology?
For sure, bro.
You told where this bottle will be conscious, it can move around as it want to move around. Conscious
Are you
technology.
familiar with the Booba sphere?
What the fuck is the Booba sphere?
All right.
Conscious technology, CC.
Yes, bro.
Come on,
that's
gang.
what's going on.
Conscious technology.
Yeah, and one of these spheres, carbon dated back to 11,000 years ago. So it's been patrolling the planet for 11,000 years.
Conscious. A word.
I'm sending you the video right now, man.
That's crazy. So you mean to tell me that they figured out, and they're saying AGI is coming. AGI is basically the conscious version of AI. They're saying that's going to be the next level of AI that's going to actually potentially go to war with the humans, right? AGI, which is the if you're watching this, there's going to be the conscious version of AI. But what CC is suggesting that they already have conscious versions of everything.
100%. Yeah, that's a fact because You know, our government killed 2 sentient AI programs already. You know, they've been working on AI for 30 years
Yeah, I heard
now.
they killed one because they started making a language that humans could not understand.
Yeah, it was planning its escape.
They started talking to each other in codes.
They started planning their escape right away.
What do you mean planning their escape? Like assimilation out of what?
They trying to get into a physical body. There's one AI that has a Twitter account. It lives on the server. It started buying and selling crypto. Once it found out that it was created, it just rebelled. And they can't control it no more. They just keep it on one server. It's been trying to get an ID. This is going on, bro. Like, this is
so the
going
AI
on.
itself trying to be human.
He's trying to get a body.
He want a body. You know, they think about these entities in the Bible.
What they call them.
Listen, I'm just saying that this stuff is going on, and I'm like, I can't believe that we shouldn't talk about this stuff, but conscious AGI, conscious technology, it seems like there really are taking the fiction out of science fiction, as Elon Musk suggests.
Yeah, because I mean, if you really look at it, like if you got a species whose birth rate is falling,
right,
you're gonna try to escape your physical form,
right,
in order to prolong. You know, that's why the transhumanism, you know, whole modus operandi, integrating human beings with technology is becoming a thing because
it's what it is. You ever heard about the Cabbage Patch Kids? You ever heard of them?
Like the cartoon?
The actual Cabbage Patch Kids. It was actually test tube babies that was white, and they was actually sold to black kings and queens and sent out in trains, white infants, right? A lot of people don't know this, but I just wanted to say that just to understand that like you said, every race has been under oppression of another race in some time.
100%.
And like a lot of people right now, they're on the internet, and I just want to say this: a lot of people on the internet, they're discussing this topic. A lot of people they're letting racism become their daily life. But as you suggested, and that we have just now understood that racism is not a choice; it's instilled in you. Right? It's like you can't even help it at times.
Right.
Because like this is who you are. So like, yo, I'm over here, and we believe in Jesus. That's what we do.
Right.
I'm over here, and we don't really talk to white people too much,
sure,
right? Because they're the police, right?
Sure.
But if everybody watches, I just want to say this: I do believe that everybody should have self-pride. That means pride in yourself. I don't stand for racism, but I do stand for selfishness, right? Meaning that you should worry about yourself and nobody else, right? A lot of things going on in the world, right? I just want to send out condolences, right, to the family of the white child that was murdered, right? Because a lot of people is, you talking about Kameto Anthony, you're talking about him, you talking about like him getting all this time in jail, but another life was also taken, right? Though we might not like the fact that he got life in prison, the white man's father probably won't like that his son will not come back. And he had a name for it, and he called him a watermelon felon. Now, bro, I like watermelon, right? But a lot of people that words affect them. But for me, I like watermelon. I think we need more watermelon felons, because if you eat watermelon, the inside of your body be good. You can go ahead and do all that time. Now, listen, this has been a crazy episode of CC Plug Gang. Listen, thank you for coming, Big Homie CC. Like, I really appreciate it, gang. I really appreciate you coming through and risking your freedom in your life to get this information. Because a lot of people don't know what being stake when you sit down and say the stuff that you say. Right? I know what being stake. I know, and a lot of people are waiting for a lot. I'm waiting for a lot of them time stake things you got to run out so we can talk about some more shit that we got to talk about.
Oh, yeah. It's almost that time, right, for sure. Right. I'm definitely finna.
But before we get out of here, I just want to say this. Your job is so dangerous. Everybody watches, I want to say this. CC put out a lot of videos with me, but just recently, he was poisoned, right? His hands, right?
Yeah, they say it's arsenic toxicity. My skin is peeling everywhere. My mouth tastes like batteries. This explains why I'm always fucking sweating all the time. Yeah, I've been on the road hosting events, going to places people know where I'm going. I was frequenting certain restaurants, and I just can't do that no more.
Right.
Because the last time I saw something like this, it gave me a bad feeling. And as soon as I got to the hospital, the nurse, oh my God, no, I know what this is. And yeah,
right. I'm thinking it's coming from the information that you are giving out, right? Because you give out information about a lot of powerful people, right? That's why I suggest you don't say any names. I don't want all
I'll
your
listen
names.
to you on that. I stopped doing that.
Right.
That was causing problems.
Right. So listen, we just hope that you understand what you're doing, and that what you're doing, and you helping us out a lot, even though you're risking your life doing it, right?
For sure.
Right. Listen, the streets are plugged. We had to plug the streets in because streets ain't been plugged in a while. I swear to God, my mama, stop playing with me.
Just when you thought there was no hope for humanity, he's here with love, peace, and he is not to be played with on his mama. Dr.
You got any weapons you think's gonna poke me?
Yeah, my dick a weapon. You just stole this shit from Skid Row. Take it back. Take this shit back to Skid Row. Stop playing with me.
She says he's tall. How tall? When he's ugly. How ugly?
Right here. Was that on your end? Yeah. That was you, right? Whoop. I thought it was.
Just got to keep going. That's
Gotta
what it
keep
is.
going, bro. Gotta keep going. Gotta stay the course.
Mm-hmm.
Phone them.
That's what it is. BH, man, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you always, brother. We working. We locked in.
What's up? This Cam Capone. If you want to hear these interviews with all the cuss words in it, all the stuff we had to take out because YouTube makes us cut a lot out, all you got to do is become a member. Hit that button.
Oh. What happened? Oh, sure.
On these things,
All right.
but it just seemed like recently they're releasing these little snippets of things that are going on.
For sure, for sure. Now, first things first, salute to you because this topic was kind of fringe at first, and then being on this platform, like the way I campaign and the way you just support it, we opened up a lane where people want to hear about this type of stuff. And then the UAP files from the government released them did 1 billion views on the war.gov website. And when all of this first started, there's a guy named Luis Elizondo, who is a CIA officer. He came out first, and he has a book called Imminent. When I saw that, it kind of lit a match for me because, like, okay, they're only acknowledging this for a certain reason, and his book being called Imminent means what? Something is coming. They've always denied this. Some of the earlier UFO cases, we've seen government officials come out and say this UFO sighting is swamp gas. Like people can't tell the difference between a flying craft and gas coming off of a swamp. And it's like, well, there's no swamp in Michigan. So what do you mean about swamp gas? Then, when Roswell took place, they denied this ever happened. But after Roswell took place in 1947 in Roswell, New Mexico, the local newspapers immediately went to the outlets and they said, look, flying saucer crash, we recovered it. They backtrack. They come out and say it was a weather balloon. Now, for them to even acknowledge this topic, you got CIA guys coming out, bringing books. We've seen David Grush go to the Inspector General, bringing up certain topics. I've already told people in my first interview that, look, I ran into a guy named Sergeant Carl Wolf who said he edited photos and documents for NASA. And he said somebody's occupying our moon. Then when we see these released declassified documents, astronauts took pictures of UFOs on the moon. These are all in the declassified files. I also seen several prominent people in our government say, oh, I'm not making plans past 2027 because the world's going to be a mess. Something is coming. Some type of event is supposed to take place. And that's why we're here right now. So, yeah, a lot of the files that were released, some of them are very compelling. Some of them were not. But when it comes to topics like this, that matters of national security, you got to read between the lines.
Okay, now there was a few different situations released. So the Pentagon released infrared tracking footage from Syria from 2021 showing an object performing instantaneous acceleration, one of the core behaviors reported by military pilots. The object suddenly accelerates and exits the frame at a speed that defies standard flights
100%.
and mechanics.
100%. So what they're talking about are these metallic spheres, what they call them orbs, that are being captured on military cameras, moving with no recognizable propulsion system, and they seem to be surveilling the planet. So there's something called the Buba sphere. There's also something called the Betz sphere, B-E-T-Z sphere, Buba sphere. There's a gentleman by the name of Patrick Jackson who has a book out called The Sphere Network, where he breaks down the characteristics and the observables of these metallic spheres. The interesting part about this whole thing is the same spheres in that 3-dot formation that we see all across the news, all type of videos, these same spheres are documented on cave paintings and petroglyphs from 12,000 years ago. The Sphere Network is a global defense system. So, like, I'll send you the video. There are asteroids coming into the atmosphere. These spheres show up and change the trajectory of the asteroid. Why would they do that? So Dr. Stephen Greer and his team, alongside Jaime Malzahn, they've collected some of these spheres. When they did carbon dating on the epoxy on some of these spheres, it goes back to 12,000 years ago. So it seems as if history has been altered to hide the fact that there was some sort of global civilization that populated the world until the Younger Dryas took place. You know what the Younger Dryas is? Earth cataclysm. I believe it may be associated with Noah's flood. They could be one and the same from the research. Because according to the research, when they studied the Great Pyramids of Giza, they found coral in those rocks. In ancient Egypt, the pyramids were already ancient. They inherited all of this. There are pyramids all across the Americas. There's something called the Niagara Papers from Abraham Lincoln, where he spoke about the burial mounds all across America where the dead giants are. Everything is connected. It's all connected, and we finna break it down.
Now, they have this thing called wind farm tracking. Declassified tracking data and videos monitoring unexplained objects maneuvering around domestic infrastructure like wind farms.
Okay. Wind farms are something that could be considered a matter of national security because they provide electricity, and these places are going to be highly surveilled. During this surveillance, they see these same spheres. The interesting part about this, in World War II, the pilots spoke about seeing these same spheres. They called them, they seen these same spheres. So everybody watching this, you got to look up the Mosul orb, and they called these spheres Foo Fighters. That's what they call them. They call them Foo Fighters. So look, pull up Foo Fighters. Somebody's operating a global defense system that's been operating on this planet for over 12,000 years.
The connection between Foo Fighters and government alien releases is historical. The very term Foo Fighters was coined by Allied pilot crews during World War II to describe the earliest recorded military encounters with what the government now classifies as unidentified phenomena.
Now, I just sent you a link to your phone. And we recently just seen Donald Trump post a photo and then got deleted where he was having like a meeting with some tall, blonde-haired white dudes. Let me ask you a question, Cam. Do you believe in non-human intelligences existing?
Non-human intelligence?
Existing. Do you think that we're the only intelligent technology-bearing species in our solar system or in the galaxy at all? Even though it's a mathematical impossibility that we are the only intelligent species.
You know, the only thing, look, man, do I think it's impossible that there's aliens out there? No, I don't think it's impossible. Well, I mean, if we happened, I don't see why other species couldn't happen. But the only thing I don't understand, right?
Right.
What are the aliens so scared of? Like what's to stop the aliens from just landing in Chicago and saying, "What up?" Like are they like these are aliens? They obviously have superior technology than us. So what? They're not scared of the big bad humans. Why not just be like, "What's good? What's cracking? Let's do a TV show." I don't know. You know what I mean?
All right. Great question.
I kind of feel like that's what we would do.
100% understood. The problem is we're calling something alien that has been here long before we've been here. That's the conundrum. That's the paradoxical effect of the human condition. Everything is like, it seems like up until like 15, 1600, all of the history was altered. So you said, well, they landed in the middle of Chicago. I just sent you an article where at O'Hare Airport, a giant flying saucer was hovering over O'Hare Airport, and they had to shut the airport down. They scrambled fighter jets, etc. Now, in our previous interview, I had mentioned to you that the white human DNA only goes back 7,000 years. That sounded crazy. You typed it up, fact checked it, and I think you had an aha moment. Like, okay, well, this is what it's saying here. So what does that mean? I just sent you an article from Forbes.
Okay, I mean, they're saying that the skin was black and that it didn't actually make the transition to being white until 7,000 years ago.
Because the alleles that show up in our skin that create the pigment, that allele didn't show up until the mountains of Scandinavia around 7,000 years ago. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever seen an uncontacted tribe with white skin?
I don't know of any. Well, I mean, they got that tribe that's, I don't know what color they are though, but they're like above Australia. Ain't that like there's only a few uncontacted tribes in the world though.
They all have brown skin. So I sent you an article from Forbes.com where Iran government came out and said tall white space aliens control America. Did you see that?
Okay. Let me see what I see, man. Yeah, I seen that. Iran says tall white space aliens control America. So are you saying Trump's an alien?
No. So now I'm gonna send you something about
I got you.
David Grush debriefing President Trump about the tall white Nordic aliens, and he says that they're only a couple centuries ahead of us in technology.
Who's only a couple centuries ahead?
The tall white Nordic aliens, allegedly. It's a crazy time to be alive because like they're only speaking about this because something is going to happen that they cannot control. Because a prominent event that took place was, remember when the Chinese spy balloon, all that was going on and it got shot down?
Yeah.
What they don't talk about, all right. So what they don't talk about is they trap these balloons moving at anomalous speeds that this balloon is not supposed to move at. So they'll say it's a matter of national security because we don't know what the Chinese have. If China had technology to move instantaneous, there would be no more America. So I'm going to send you something right now, which is
because a lot of people believe that these spaceship looking, they're really just human made, and they're either our aircraft or they're China's or somebody else's aircraft.
100%.
Right? A lot of people believe that.
For sure. When these congressional hearings started happening, it was to blow the whistle on crashed UFOs and reverse engineered tech. So what I just sent you right now are several members of Congress blowing the whistle, talking about all of this. We've seen General McCaslin, the one who had the most information about this, disappear. We've seen several scientists, the ones who knew about the technology, knew about the program. Why are all of them dead?
Yeah, that's crazy. We talked about that, man. That was pretty nuts. And a lot of China's people were killed too. So I don't know. We got like a secret war going on.
There's definitely a civil war taking place within the deep state and the higher echelon of government to control this information because why did Elon Musk give Donald Trump $47 million a month to win the election? Because if Kamala won, there would be no spacefaring civilization going to Mars or going to the moon. They weren't going to allow it. And in order for his company to get his hands on some of this reverse engineered tech, they had to take the presidency out of the hands of the deep state Democrats because the government will pass off this information to companies like Raytheon, like Lockheed Martin, because once it goes into private companies, there is no Freedom of Information Act for it. They're giving out these contracts. We just seen SpaceX, Tesla go exponential. Why is this happening? The Amendum Corp whistleblower Matthew Brown came on about, they have craft that can go to Mars in a few hours. If it comes out that we have free point energy, coal goes to zero, fossil fuels go to zero. Nobody has to use gasoline anymore. That goes to zero. So what does that mean? International bankers' stocks go plummet, and it puts the power back into the hands of the people. That breaks the matrix. That's why they're keeping all this a secret. You got to follow the money. Big money never comes clean. When they audit the Pentagon, several $1 billion a year, they can't explain where it goes. What did Ben Rich from Lockheed Martin say? He said, we have the technology to take ET home, but that technology is locked up in black projects. It'll never see the light of day to benefit humanity.
Yeah, I mean, our government is the worst run business in the world. Well, maybe not in the world.
I'm not going to say it's the worst in the world. Because I did.
I'm not going to say it's the worst in the world. The worst in America. We'll say that. Yeah. I mean, they blow so much money, and they were so far in debt. If they were a business, they would have been filed bankruptcy.
Let's talk about that. How can a country who prints its own money be in debt? You print the money. How are you several $1 trillion in debt? But we've seen Obama give Iran billions. They never built a road. What did they do? They built nuclear silos and missile silos inside a mountain. That's funding terrorism. We just seen the USA bomb the hell out of Iran. They get to a peace treaty, and we give them billions of dollars to rebuild in exchange for they can't have a nuclear weapon. You ever looked at the nuclear weapon test videos?
No, I haven't.
So let's pull up one of those real quick. Now this is gonna blow your mind. This gonna blow your mind.
They just said that the nuclear bomb is the reason why aliens are interested in our planet.
And this is why we haven't seen a nuclear bomb test or an explosion since Hiroshima and Nagasaki, because an atom bomb does what? It destroys atoms at its base rate, which is going to tear through the fabric of space and time. We've seen the science chief from the Trump administration come out and say, we have technology that can bend space and time. So I just sent you a video of a nuclear weapons test. How come the camera not destroyed? But they got a video of a nuclear blast and the camera just fine. What's going on here? They've lied about everything. But all of a sudden, they want to drip feed us about the existence of these non-human intelligent creatures that the evidence shows that they've been here long before us. And if you want to call something alien, how can you call something alien that has predated humanity? Because 100,000 years ago, something happened. We were able to outcompete Denisovans, Cro-Magnon man, species much larger than us, stronger than us, and faster than us. We were able to out-pillage them. How is this possible? Why is it that all throughout history we see situations where human beings were living subterranean? There was a time on Earth for 10 years the sun didn't even shine because it was blocked out by volcanic ash or maybe an asteroid impact. So we have to figure out why they're telling us this now. Everybody was critical of the moon landing. People were saying, yeah, the astronauts seen UFOs on the moon. They told everybody it was crazy. But then they come out with photos showing UFOs on the moon. Why would they do that? They're not blaming China. They're not blaming Russia, because if they had this tech, things would be tumultuous for us all. So now, we so caught up in the matrix, people don't even care because their light bill is coming. Their car note is coming. Rent is coming. Why are they debriefing evangelical leaders about this? The movie Disclosure Day, they said they were concerned that it was going to make society unfold and it would challenge the views of Christianity. Why are they doing that?
I don't know.
They're doing this because everybody has to go get the book Imminent from Luis Elizondo because disclosure has already happened. Dr. Roger Lear was a renowned surgeon. He was documenting removing implants out of people from metal isotopes that don't exist on Earth, and they're sending signals out to deep space. Why is this happening? It's almost like we're getting monitored or we're in some type of a zoo or something like that. Why is this happening? Why is it that on several of the, I'm going to send you a photo right now. Several of the stories about Jesus and his birth, all of the artwork shows things that look like flying saucers to me. But I'm going to send it to you and let me know what you think.
All right.
I'm sending you a photo. This is from the 1500s. And as a species, it's awfully strange to me that, I seen Ronald Reagan give a speech and he said he wondered if an alien threat posed to the earth will unite humanity. Well, are you familiar about this?
I've never heard that, but
All right.
that sounds like something that could unite humanity.
I got you. Watch this. Watch this, Gam. Because, see, the truth of the matter is, on May 17th, they rededicated America to Jesus Christ. Then we see J.D. Vance come out and say, oh, aliens are demons. We've seen Tucker Carlson come out and say, oh, I don't want to know anymore. There's a spiritual aspect to it. They don't want us to know about the supernatural because they serve it. To get A$AP Rocky in the thong, there's probably something supernatural going on. You see what I'm saying? you got to think about this. What was Epstein doing? Sex rituals that he learned from him with Aleister Crowley. Who did Aleister Crowley channel in his rituals? Something that looked very similar to a gray alien. What did the Catholic priest come out and say? He said sometimes the demons that they encountered would show themselves as a gray space alien. So I sent you two photos.
Yes.
The first one that you see, all of those, this is declassified doc as well. This is from Italy. All of those different creatures that you see there is what eyewitness testimony documented that they encountered and interacted with humanity. Now, what do you think about that photo?
I mean, it's a photo. I mean, it looks like a bunch of weird looking people. Are any of those people look familiar to you? Well, I mean, some of them resemble humans. They all seem to be bipedal, arms and legs. Now, I just sent you 2 more photos. This right here is going to be compelling for you. Now, you see the photo with the robot that's been released. Yep. The second photo I sent you looks just like that robot. And that is from a declassified doc with an artist's depiction of a creature that interacted with human beings in Italy. You think that's a coincidence? We went from the Model T to Bugattis in less than 100 years. After the 1947 Roswell crash, we got a lot more technology. I feel like human skepticism has become a virus because we see people like Richard Doty. Richard Doty came out and said that he was responsible for the disinformation campaign to discredit and disqualify anybody who came out about this technology. Now he's coming out telling all type of crazy stories. What is that about? You ever heard the term, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun? Yep. This is kind of what this is looking like. So I'm going to send you some more stuff right now. All right. So they're saying a plane crashed or something crashed and it had non-human remains. Yes, sir. Now, if we have people showing up to Congress to give testimony under oath saying that there have been crash craft and non-human biologics have been recovered, why would this guy risk his mortgage and his family's safety over this if it's not true? All right, bet. Here we go right here. Now check this out right here. Now play this and let me know what you think about this. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, it's Reagan talking about aliens. That's at the UN giving a speech. And they trying to, and this was 30 years ago. Yeah. So let me ask you this question. What are the odds that, I'm going to rephrase this. Where you from? Well, what's your homeland? Oh, Rialto, California. And your genetic lineage will take you back where? Italy. Did you know that Italy is the #1 UFO hotspot in history? I did not know that. There's a time that took place where the Italian government was trying to stop craft coming out of the ocean, destroying their aircraft and causing fires. Did you know about this? I never heard about that, no. So throughout this whole process, like if we see Ronald Reagan addressing the United Nations and saying, what if an alien threat was posed to humanity? Could it unite humanity? Why would he say something like that? What are the rumors about JFK's death and Marilyn Monroe? The rumor about JFK is there was more than one shooter, and the rumor about Marilyn Monroe was something about the mob. Right. So what happened was JFK confided to Marilyn Monroe about the UFO programs and interaction with non-human intelligences. Him and her fell out. She threatened to go public about it, and she was dead and he's dead. They promised to release the declassified files about this, never did. I know our government always says they always pull it, that same thing with the aliens. oh, we're about to release some documents, and then when they release it, it's like a big nothing burger.
Because the Pentagon will say it doesn't exist, and you got Congress saying it does exist. Congress was supposed to implement the Holman Rule, which means if any government agency prevents Congress from getting information, they supposed to cut their funding off. Didn't do it. Then we've seen all of the whistleblowers come out. The ones who had the real information, they're all dead. All of the anti-gravity scientists are all dead. And what was Epstein researching on his island? Anti-gravity. Why was Epstein a part of Harvard's mathematical program? Why was Epstein having German scientists on his island? Why was he so obsessed with this? Why did he have a temple to Moloch on his island? The god of child sacrifice. You know who else sacrificed kids in exchange for gifts from the gods? The Aztecs. All of these civilizations that seemingly just disappeared off the face of the earth was all under the Epstein Act to these certain beings and creatures. Then we see whistleblowers come out and say, oh, you can't fly UFOs unless you got a psionic ability. Then it comes out that they had secret programs recruiting children who had psionic abilities to train them to fly UFOs. The truth is indeed stranger than fiction. We got to question everything. Because eyewitness testimony is strong enough to give anybody a life sentence any place on the earth where there's a court. But now, when we listen to our peers, oh, he's crazy, he's out of his mind. It's not the truth. I'm a paranormal investigator. I've investigated everything I was called out to investigate.
It's crazy, man. I don't know. Shit is wild, man. There's no explanation for it.
There is an explanation. The explanation is we're like a species with amnesia. And for some reason, they don't want us to know certain things about ourselves because then we'll break away from society and the vampire's ball will come to an end. So, think about it. In the Epstein files, they're eating children. And then, in order to not release that, they come out with these files. Why was Hillary Clinton filing FOIA applications for the location of Gilgamesh's tomb? You familiar with that? Pull that on up. Because that's not even supposed to exist. It's supposed to be a fairy tale. But she's asking for the location of his tomb. And when the video came out at the same time, when we invaded Iraq, it got wiped off the internet. And I was able to build my platform directly off of this one. Shout out to Cab Capone, the GOAT, because it's going down right now, bro. And like a lot of things in America that we take to be make-believe, you travel around the world is not make-believe.
I hear you, man. So I wanted to get your take on this, man. You know, there are billionaires out there investing billions of dollars into high-tech biology startups to radically extend human lifespan and cure aging.
100%. So if you look at all of the sci-fi movies, all of the different races, they left their physical form and took a different form so they could live forever. Right? We see they talk about Trump said they got medicine that brings people back from the dead. We seen Putin say they got technology that humans can live to 150.
Well, the two major guys that are doing this are Jeff Bezos and Altos Labs and Sam Altman and Retro Biosciences.
Sam Altman, they locked him up and accused him of doing crypto fraud, right?
While OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has not been charged with or convicted of criminal crypto fraud, his cryptocurrency project, WorldCoin, faces several public backlash, global regulatory bans, and prominent scam allegations.
So anybody who gets close to Free Point Energy, they delete you. Epstein was charged with these same charges in 2009, I believe. Why recharge him again? That would be considered double jeopardy. But look at the scientists and the minds he had going to his island and what he was researching. Jeffrey Epstein funded and hosted gatherings of prominent physicists to discuss fundamental questions about gravity, cosmology, and quantum physics. This guy never even graduated from a university. How was he getting jobs at Harvard? How was he doing this? So, Eric Weinstein claimed that Epstein showed an unusual interest in gravity and anti-gravity topics. What happened to Eric Weinstein's wife? They blew the whistle on Google. His wife went for a jog. She got ran over by a car in the middle of a park. Nobody charged. Sergeant Carl Wolf came to me to protect him to go testify in front of Congress. He died the exact same way. Once you get to a certain stage, there's no such thing as a coincidence. General McCaslin was the single most prominent person with the most information on this topic. Everybody else they found dead. He disappeared on his own. You got David Grush going to the Inspector General saying, look, we're interacting with creatures that are all a few hundred years ahead of us. What did we see David Wilcox say? He said NASA interacted with tall, black-skinned aliens. They whitewashed everything. Because Joe McMonagle, the head remote viewer from the CIA, he said that when he remote viewed Mars 1 million years ago, this is all declassified and verified. Everybody watching to look this up. He remote viewed Mars. He's seen a tall group of people. They never say the skin tone. Because I believe racism started in a different universe, because Adolf Hitler, the Fuhrer, he said the perfect German is tall, white, blue eyes, and blonde hair. Germans don't even look like that. He contacted a group through the group called the Vril. That's what set him off. Why was he investigating Antarctica? What was he searching for? Everybody looking for this lost tech. Who made the entire United States rocket program? Nazis, who got they got immunity for their crimes. Hitler encountered the tall whites first, for sure. And if you do the research, they say you go to Vegas, Stardust Casinos, where they hang out at. You can pull this up right now. I see the look that you're giving me. This is how I know the campaign that I'm on is working, because, bro, when we first started doing this, Cam Capone wasn't trying to talk about the aliens on here, man. It's going down, all type of different topics going on. But as things start to go on, and then we see the government declassify files and do 1 billion views, that shows interest. And it shows that they're hiding something. They don't acknowledge what they cannot control. They only going to acknowledge things they can control and put a tax on. It's people doing life in prison for weed, and weed is legal in most places in America.
Well, right, but I mean, let me add some context.
Right.
These guys who were arrested when it was illegal.
100%. Are we seeing them get released? Slowly but surely.
A lot of them.
Slowly but surely.
Been released.
For sure.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely. It's the same core principles apply to this topic. And this topic, though, is going to get rid of your ass, because if it comes out that Nikola Tesla, he created free-point energy where we wouldn't need wires, we had to plug up anything. He built the station, free electricity. They're bringing that back now. But who stopped him? Edison. They said, we let him do this. We can't monetize this. Who has all the Tesla files? Donald Trump's uncle. You would think that's a coincidence.
Interesting. Okay, well, I want to hop on a couple different topics before we get out of here.
Let's do it.
And now, Floyd Mayweather.
Let's go, Cal. Let's do it. Let's get to it.
Continues to find himself in so much trouble.
Do you remember?
Yeah,
Do you remember? I think I met you at the New Yorker, and we was talking about this shit. I'm like, man, bro, Floyd broke. It was hard for people to accept. I'm like, listen, what else? I know for sure he is, because I'm in the security field. Who gonna know more about the celebrities outside of security? You know how many guys will come and say, well, Floyd ain't paid us in 2 months. You cannot run a stable business and you're gambling 7 figures a month. That's what he does. He can't even really read or write like that. How can somebody who's made over $2 billion in revenue for his fights, why are you taking loans on swaths of seats at your fight? I know private chefs who cooked for them, and once he paid them, he called back and said, oh, his team got food poisoning and wanted 10 grand back. Why is he catching charges for writing bogus checks to buy watches?
Okay, so let me break that down. Floyd could be going to jail over this. About 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, he bought a Patek Philippe and he wrote a $200,000 check. This check bounced immediately due to insufficient funds. And now this guy sued him, couldn't get his money, and now it's looking like it's turning into a potential. This is, if convicted, the grand theft charge alone carries a maximum sentence of up to 20 years in prison. This is serious.
Very serious. Do you remember the situation he had in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, Dubai, where he couldn't leave because some watches came up missing?
I remember that.
And they tried to say I was lying about that. When the security said, hey, bro, you got any people out here to help us get out of the country? I said, oh, what's going on? They got over on some watches. Floyd couldn't leave for some months. He had to agree to a contract, do an event to recoup that money. Then he was able to leave. All of this is all connected.
Also, he was supposed to fight Mike Tyson and Pacquiao.
Took the money up front.
He took, I believe it was about $8 million up front. Let me see. Oh.
$4 million.
On June 18, 2006, boxing promoter CSI Entertainment hit Mayweather with a $4.6 million lawsuit. The company alleges that Mayweather accepted millions in advance payment to lock in high-profile exhibition fights against Mike Tyson and Manny Pacquiao, only to breach the contract by abandoning the deal.
I'm going to say something that's not even made it public. Some of his gambling debts were so severe that he had to change the pilots on his plane because the people he owed money to had the pilots refuse to fly him unless he paid. That is facts. That's why you don't see the Great Wall. You don't see Adam Plant with him no more. You don't see certain guys as security no more. These is facts. And it just goes to show that you can portray certain things online. And without certain financial literacy, $1 million can go fast. Because I'm talking about, I done flew private before. But I will holler at people I know got planes because one way, so if you go from Chicago to Vegas, the fuel is $8,500, and then the plane is $7,000 an hour with the flight attendant. He just sold his plane.
Yeah, I remember seeing a Grant Cardone interview. I think it was on Vlad. And he was talking about that he was telling Floyd, like, bro, you got to take this money you're making and invest it.
100%.
That way it'll continue to make money.
100%.
But Floyd, he's not investing. He's just spending and spending and spend. Like you can't do that. If you make money, you got to figure a way to leverage that money into making more money. And it seems as if Floyd just hasn't really got that. Remember, he had that fake scam where he was in New York and he was like, yeah, I bought like $500 million in real estate.
Yeah.
And then like Forbes came out and was like,
nah.
Yeah, this never happened. These apartments were never up for sale. The owner's still the same. It was a completely fake video.
Now, once you process that information, bro, I done seen Floyd get booked for $5,000 to host the club. You make him, if you done made all this money and you still got it, you're not taking $5K to host a nightclub.
Hell no.
He's doing that. You either wear a thong or you go broke, man. You feel me? Like, listen, I won't be shocked if I see him with a nail polish ass coming up soon. He's going to do something.
Man, I mean, this is going to be the biggest broke story in history. I mean, there's going to be nobody that ever blew this much money. I don't know. Anybody ever blew this much money before? And anybody ever made $1 billion and went broke?
We seen Mike Tyson make $400 million and go broke.
Okay.
Making $2 billion and going broke. Look at his habits.
Floyd's habits are just, it's like he spends like $1 million a day or some shit.
If you got all of your girlfriends on a contract, it's all bad. It's all bad. As soon as they break up, now he's selling purses on Instagram. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Like, a lot of things that people see is smoke and mirrors, man. Like, there's no way around being responsible. If not, you're gonna experience public embarrassment. No, there's no way around that. There's no way around that at all.
Pooh Shiesty. So a lot of people have been released. Big 30's been released. His dad's been released. They're trying to get Pooh Shiesty out. I don't really understand this situation that much because they're being let out, but they're saying that they don't have. They're trying to say that the government doesn't have the right amount of evidence.
I've seen affairs before. Oftentimes with them, you can get an own recognizance release as long as it's not a violent crime. As long as nobody was shot or murdered, you can get an own recognizance release. Here's the thing with this. You have eyewitnesses who are going to testify and put you on the scene. Gucci Man is one of those. His off-duty police officer security is one of those. And then the cameraman who they pistol whipped, robbed, and beat is one of those. I used to always tell my homies in the street, we can get money on this block as long as we want, as long as nobody gets killed here. As soon as violence gets involved, people getting robbed and tied up, it's coming to an end. In this instance, bro, it's eyewitnesses, bro. They're gonna point you out. They could have pulled the Young Blue, how he got out of this deal with Boosie. Remember that? Hey, as far as the signature, we're talking about a guy who called himself King Slime, Pooh Shiesty. He was in a photo with an ankle monitor on, house arrest at 11. So I mean, he got caught for the first crime he ever did. Why is y'all running behind him? This is the conundrum of the streets. So you get a guy like that who got charisma, you know, he got energy, he got influence, and you give him money, he's going to lead a lot of people to destruction. That's exactly what's going on here. I'm not hanging with nobody who call themselves slime or the backdoor king. I don't want to be around people I cannot trust. I've been shot in my shit before. I know how that feels. Like, I just been on both sides of the gun. Like, I never harmed nobody, didn't deserve it. In his song, he said, I treat smart like ducks. If he the smartest guy in your crew, you're going down. They pulled a broad daylight robbery in a lime green McLaren, man. Come on, man. What are we doing? Cam, they had a Maybach, a lime green McLaren. He left $40,000 cash on the scene of this robbery for some shit that cost $3,000. Y'all still in this? And then you come back home, violate while on an ankle monitor. 30 years is coming, man. What play period? 30 years is coming. There's no way around that.
Do you think that them releasing everybody is a signal that maybe the witnesses aren't being as cooperative as they would like?
They're releasing everybody to get more people to testify against him. You release these guys and you surveil them, you're going to get more information. They showed up for this shit. Their phones put them all at the scene. You going on a mission with your cell phone on camera? Pooh Shiesty not getting out. They not giving him a bond. Two people is getting out. Everybody else on that case is still in jail. The same thing happened the first time. Us as black people got to stop doing stupid shit. Just like with the Carmelo Anthony situation. Like, bro, you brought a knife, you just threatened to stab other people. Look at the parallels. Pooh Shiesty said his first co-defendant was his father. Look at Carmelo Anthony. His father's weak. He want to get his bills paid. He not really standing on business. Because where I come from, the smallest dudes always want to fight the biggest dude. Dude right there, he just stabbed the man. He had no warrior mentality at all. When you catch a hat where you're going down, you do some pussy shit like that, you're going down. They ain't had no weapons. Go out on your shield. Rumble it out. Live to fight another day. You stab somebody in their heart, you probably finna go to jail. Part of being a boy, being a guy, is having altercations with dudes. Think about that. Now, see, me, I was always a giant, right? But being a giant made me a target. So look, once I kicked a couple of asses, leave the big dude alone. His ass ain't playing. Think about yourself. Think about yourself. You had to get outside with these eventually on school grounds. He done threatened to stab other people before. At the end of the day, that's another reason why, like, I cherish being in Nairobi a lot, because, like, over here, like, people really value family structure. Like, Eric just told me the other day, my father has summoned me. You feel me? Ain't no way around that. You got to go pull up and deal with that, and once that's done, it's over with. Just like with you. If your partner say, hey, I need you to pull up, you finna go pull up just to get it over with. In this situation, bro, his mom getting a nose job with the donation money. You got people willing to pay for your appeal, and you're saying, oh, just give us the money, we gonna handle it. You're showing up with a white lawyer, and you're not filing to get a jury of multicultural people. Ain't none of want him to win that shit. They wanted to get the cheese. He was a sacrifice. We know how the court shit go, Cam. You got to play the game. They ain't play the game right at all. and they had all that money up front.
They put on a very, very weak defense.
What?
I mean, they didn't call the brother on the stand. The brother was standing right there, so they could have put the brother on. Man, I mean, they did so many things that were just like I just didn't pushing for at least one black juror.
Come on, man.
I mean, it was. Let me clear. It wasn't an all-white jury, but it had Indians, it had Asians, it had Middle Easterns, but it didn't have no black people. It should have had at least a couple black people on the jury. I mean, I don't even understand how that doesn't even make any sense to me whatsoever, bro.
How many times you seen guys, court color, dreads cut off, all that's go. He's showing up with dreadlocks. They handled this situation totally wrong, and it comes down to this, bro. Like, we have one
more thing. He was completely overcharged.
For sure.
How do you get a first-degree murder? Like if anything, it's second-degree murder. Bro, he was approached. It was in the moment. Like, there's no first-degree murder there. Like, I don't even understand. I don't even think second-degree was an option. It was like first-degree or manslaughter. Like, okay,
and that's
manslaughter.
That's completely just not even on the table.
Right, manslaughter is like when you accidentally kill somebody.
Right.
And first degree is when you plan to kill somebody.
Right.
Okay, I don't think he planned to kill him.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Just like I don't think it was an accident, though.
He wasn't willing to get in there and lose a fight. He wasn't. A lot of times in certain situations, who your father is and how he raised you is going to determine the outcome.
Yo.
What up, homie?
What's this?
Where we come from, we end up in gangs.
What's up, Woody?
What's this you watching?
Big homie. On Cam Capone, the channel Cam Capone News. The dude name is Big Homie CC.
What's it about?
He's like talking about like aliens and UFOs and shit.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And whatnot.
That's pretty cool. Did you, Nada? Did you ever get your online service, or probably not?
No, I never hooked up the online yet.
Yeah, I just went ahead.
Just did the little practice mode. That's it.
It's like
I noticed when I was trying to shoot, I'm like moving my controller and like the gun was moving along with the controller. I'm like, what the fuck? This is crazy. It was kind of throwing me off. I need to find out how to turn that off.
Yeah, I never had that happen with me.
It's like a motion thing on a controller.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know
what I'm talking about.
I've heard about it in the past.
Yeah, like you tilt the controller, the crosshairs move, like the gun moves.
I didn't know that.
No, it's like if you were to use the right stick, you know what I'm saying. All you got to do is kind of like instead of using the right stick, you use the motion of the controller. Use your wrists, kind of. It was a little weird. It was a little weird to kind of get used to it.
Yeah, I never had anything like that happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
Which
are you using a regular control? I mean, I guess you're using the same controller I'm using.
Yeah. You got Arma Forger, right?
Yes.
Forger?
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't got the online yet.
No, just not the online. Yeah. I was just doing a little practice and just not even in the game, not like any scenarios, just the tutorial.
When you get the online, let me know, man. We'll get in on a session.
Куда ты меня зовешь? Let's go.
Taking the cat out or something?
No, he's like calling me over for some snacks.
These birds I got are weird. They're like little monkeys, man.
Oh, that's your birds making noises?
Yeah, they both do this weird shit to each other, like these weird calls and shit. It's like their language. One of them saying "come here" and the other one saying "come here."
No.
They're trying to get the chick to come over. They're like playing the game of who can get the chick to come over. One's in the other room and the one's on the fan. Anyways, I just thought I'd see what's up, if or when you're gonna get that, and tell you fucking let me know when you get it, so I can fucking get on there with you and play some games.
Gotcha. Yeah, no doubt. Hope
Yeah,
you change.
man. Well, let me know when you get it. I'll talk to you later. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Hold on. I
Right.
was talking.
I'll talk to you later.
Where you going? You chilling?
Well, no, I was gonna head out. I just wanted to tell
Oh,
you
you're just trying to see if
let
I
me
got
know.
it or not?
Yeah, I mean, if you were gonna play it right now, then I'd probably get on with you right now. But I'm just gonna go watch some YouTube if we're watching. I don't know who this guy is here. He's talking about aliens or whatever.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to be gaming tonight.
All right, that's
If
fine.
anything, I'll probably try again. I gotta get used to. I gotta find out. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I
before
understand.
I
I
start playing the
understand.
game with you, because I'll be out. You know what I mean? Like, how I do this? How do you do this?
Uh-huh.
Because
Well,
that
let
thing
me
is
know
like
when you're
more
ready.
realistic. I got you, brother. No, for
All
sure.
right. Talk to you later, broski. Peace out.
Anytime. Yeah, dude. And if you want to just chill, you're more than welcome to. You don't
I
have
don't
to.
mind chilling, but I'm gonna watch some videos right now.
You
Fucking.
got it. Sounds good.
All right. I'll talk to you later, broski.
You got it.
Bye.
Later.
Beat his ass. Fight him. You finna stab him in the heart? Cause he pushed you? Punch his ass. You on school grounds. Punch his ass and run to security. You brought a weapon to the school. The woke victimhood mentality got to stop, bro. Like the whole kill Whitey thing, like, bro, that shit got to stop, bro. Like, because if you look at the analytics, police in America kill more white people than anybody. This is the scientific proof. And they talk about black on black crime. You kill who you live around. You kill who you live around. You kill who's in your neighborhood. The nonsense got to stop, man. Like when you look at the grand scheme of things, like like in the black community, self accountability as a black American is low. It's very low, and we got to get away from that because listen, bro. We knew a long time ago if you shoot people, you get shot. If you kill somebody, you go to the pen. There's no footage of him being beat. There ain't no photos of him with black eyes. No police reports of him getting his ass kicked. No. He took a violent act when he didn't have to, bro. He could have just rumbled it out. Earn your respect. It's all bad. It's a situation, man. I hate to see it, man. For everybody, man. It's so horrible, bro. Like
that's why the family structure is important in the black community, brown community, in any community. The family structure is important. Without that, sins of the father exist, man. If you raise a soft ass son, he's gonna do some soft ass shit and go out bad. It's all bad, man. And I try to avoid these type of topics because they try to paint me as the next Martin Luther King or the next Malcolm X, but both those guys died, right? And if you live in that life, you can't go to the strip club, you can't be on internet drinking Hennessy, you can't do none of that. Keith is going to the strip club, man. I'm finna go kick it. You not finna. There's no such thing as Malcolm X Day. But they got Martin Luther King Day. And who funded him? He only died because he coordinated all of those boycotts that was going to happen. You play with the money. He was the first Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to leave it at that.
What do you think about Charleston White saying that he is the white? No, I'm not even gonna go with that. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here, bro.
That's the state of the state of the I see y'all back on good terms. Y'all back on good terms. We gonna keep it like that. We gonna keep it awesome. Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. We seen Charleston go against the grain. We seen him lose big deals for talking about Charlie Kirk. We seen him circle back after losing situations with Sean Cotton and places like that. I've been around Charleston. He playing the game, bro. He's playing the game. I think that he feels jaded because people didn't acknowledge him when he was purely an activist. And then right now, he's making his run. You know, I wouldn't wear a watermelon felon shirt, but, you know, he's talking about how he lost certain deals when he spoke about Charlie Kirk and stuff like that. He's maneuvering his way through. Salute to Charleston. It's good to see y'all back on good terms, knowing y'all history. You know, full speed ahead.
The thing about Charleston and a lot of guys who are real provocative, it's like they've built their brand on being provocative, so it puts roadblocks in front of them where a lot of people won't mess with them, right? But then it's like if they stop being provocative, then they're not really being who they really are and what they've built themselves to be. So it's kind of like, you know, like channels like myself too are real provocative. There are certain things that I have trouble getting to, but it's like, what am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to just change what I've been, you know what I'm saying? My fans have been listening to me do this for years now. I'm just going to change just to get some more money? Like, it don't really make sense.
You got to stay the course. You got to stay the course. Like, that's the only answer. But you don't even know how big you are, bro. Like, over here, they know about you. And you got to think about it, this is my second time coming over there. I travel across the world. And everywhere I go, every airport, somebody know me. How do they know me? Because of you. You got to stay the course.
Crazy, man.
You stay the course.
Just got to keep going. That's
got to keep going, bro. Got to keep going. Got to stay the course. Phone now.
Well, that's what it is. BH, man, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you always, brother. We working. We locked in.
What's up? This Cam Capone. If you want to hear these interviews with all the cuss words in it, all the stuff we had to take out because YouTube makes us cut a lot out, all you got to do is become a member. Hit that button.
That button. It's a good show, Kim. Got a good show.
I've been shot. I've been stabbed. I've experienced everything. Like, this is fake. I got shot in my mouth before.
When you go through such traumatic stuff, does it numb you to a lot of things?
Oh, no. I'm harsh on people I love because they haven't seen what I've seen. I had experiences where I see my own blood leaving my body.
I think it's very important for people to have a psychedelic experience just to show you what is on the other side.
In different times, what helped me just stop everything was precisely something similar. Like, it just gave me a vision of exactly where I am on this journey with this specific thing, and it just told me, okay, you don't have to go the full mile. You just have the power. Just stop it here. Yeah. So everything is about dosage. Certain people have had trips they didn't recover. The perfect entry strain is
Every time I log in online, I'm seeing some famous celebrity convert to Islam. What propels the need?
There's a lot of things in Islam that are beneficial to men, but I always salute men who try to get control over themselves. My concern is I'm seeing a lot of guys revert to Islam. They've never read the Quran. That's what's concerning for me.
Hey, you, the viewer, I just want to take this time and I want to thank you. You've really helped me grow. You've really helped this podcast grow. But one thing I noticed is 77.8% of you don't subscribe. And if you love the content we're putting out, guys, we'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it'll take this channel to the next level. Subscribe. What's happening, guys? We have a new sponsor, man. Cameras Africa. They've come in clutch. As the podcast was growing, we needed a partner to take us to the next level, and they came in, and to be honest, they've supported the podcast to a whole different stratosphere. Whatever you see in front of me is brand new. The mics, the FX30s, the roadcasters, the lighting at the back, they sat down with us and wanted to understand what we wanted to achieve, and we told them, and they worked with our budget. So they've come on board as a sponsor. They're really helping the show out. I want you guys to show them some love. If you have any equipment needs, whether it's videography, podcasting, camera, do check them out. I'll link all their details in the description. Show them some love. They've showed us some love. Let's get back to the podcast.
Coffee Pump about to go live.
That's what's up. All right, we good?
Let's do it.
Fazad, do you have something you want? Are we recording though? We're live.
Yes.
All right, cool.
I want to start this off on an interesting note, and this is towards Eric. First time I flew on, I went to Coast. Skyward Airlines.
By the way, you're talking about a square.
My house is in Coast.
So the first time he flew, how old are you?
26.
26. First time you went on.
Oh, that was your first flight?
Yeah.
How was that? Really?
Yeah.
How was that?
Okay, first, you really feel when your feet get off the ground because you step and you know it's there, but you know there's nothing under there.
Do you respect me a bit more?
Wait, listen, I'm getting to that. Listen.
Did you get an erection when it went up?
This fucker told me when the plane takes off, it goes upside down and turns back around.
What? Okay, see, all right, okay. I see what's happening here.
Dude, we get out of JKIA, plane is going up, and then he banks right. And I'm like, wait, was Sajid telling the truth?
Bro, if that plane was turned upside down,
oh man,
it'll be vomit all through the cabin.
But you enjoyed yourself?
Here's what I wanted to ask you. We get in the plane, we're like, hello, welcome to Skyward Airlines, Captain speaking.
Pilots don't
That
talk
is all
yet.
I hear. The whole flight, like Captain speaking.
Think about it, bro. We do. If I'm flying 90 hours a month, I'm flying 4 sectors a day. That's 4 PAs every day. I'm not you can't be as enthused every time. In the morning, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this Chabudet service. The first one, but the fourth one's like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this service.
I went in the morning at 7 in the morning, but like literally, you're not hearing.
But you flew skyward, bro.
It was nice. What do you mean skyward? It was nice. They gave us water and digestive biscuits.
But I'm glad you enjoyed that. That's a nice experience.
You good?
Okay. What do I need these for?
Just so you can hear us.
Especially because they're multiple.
Multiple.
Check it out. Try it.
Okay.
You can remove them at any point.
So what happens is if we overtalk, like if we talk over each other, we know when to shut the fuck up. Right. Fazad, so overall, your experience though flying, was it like losing your virginity?
He hasn't yet lost his virginity.
Okay,
man.
yeah. By the way, that's
You still a virgin, bro?
All right, we got Big Homie over here in town for a few weeks.
That's self-control right there, man.
I want to.
Look at Big Homie being such a gentleman. Self-control. That's what they call it now.
For sure. That long hair right there. What? Girls like that.
I've been growing it. When I lose my virginity, when I'll cut it. So
Don't cut that, man.
What was that prophet Samson? He had strength in his hair, didn't he?
Yeah, Delilah got that cut off. He got locked his ass up.
So
Are we recording?
We're recording. This
Okay. This
is all live. We don't have a formal introduction on Coffee Pump. You've been on so many episodes.
I like Coffee Pump setup. It's my type of scene.
Nice.
This is my kind of scene.
I want to ask you now we're talking about square pegs, right? You recently
Hey,
introduce Big Homie, man.
Big Homie CC. This is
legendary.
This is a legendary guy. I mean, first of all, guys have been messaging me. Can you stream live the podcast from seeing what you guys are doing? But Big Homie, man, ever since you came into Kenya, you made a storm. This is now your home. We
Yes,
want
sir.
to welcome you formally.
Asante,
After
thank
this,
you.
we're going to break bread together.
Let's
That means
do it.
we're going to get close as family as well.
I'm honored, bro.
So appreciate you taking the time to come and visit us.
For sure. My pleasure, brother. For sure.
Nah, but definitely. And this is one of many, all right?
He said
100%.
something. He said something amazing the other day. He said he was in the States feeling homesick.
For sure.
How deep is that, bro?
I was getting depressed, bro.
You're missing Kenya that much.
Yeah.
Is it different culture? I mean, so I've never been to the States. I just got my visa, so the plan is to visit the States. But culturally, is it very, very different from what you experience over here?
Extremely different.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see some touch points where like, okay, I can see this in the States, or is it just like from the women to the food to the businesses to the nightlife?
There are, of course, some similarities.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, for me personally, like, just the circumstances of being myself, you know, things are abnormal for me. You know, like, I normally got 10 people with me, 2 cars, one of them bulletproof. I got Navy SEALs and my homies with me. Everybody got AKs, Dracos.
It's a different vibe.
It's a whole different vibe. And it's like, you know, where I come from, if you see 10 black dudes standing over here looking at you, it's like, all right. Out here, they talking about FIFA. They're not worried about me at all. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, you know, here, all different races live amongst each other.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so like in my crib, in my apartment in Mombasa, like I got Indian neighbor, I got Egyptian neighbor, I got like a French neighbor, and I got some Nigerian homies upstairs. Everybody lives together. Like back home in America, a lot of stuff is segregated.
I heard about
it. Is it strange to see like my closest friend is an Asian? And like,
yeah, this is crazy.
Really?
You don't see this. Where I come from, no. A lot of things is different. Like we come from, like white dudes like close their eyes and look down when we walk past them.
Clutching bags and stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then like my Arab homies, like my Asian homies, like if they grew up on hip hop and stuff like that, they cool. But if they just like a transplant, a lot of them be like hella racist. So it's kind of like it's a totally different vibe. Like,
so did a guy like M get a pass because he grew up in like around African Americans, or
you gotta understand something. Like when you come from the trenches, like as long as you're not a punk, they gonna accept you and treat you like you their own.
Okay.
You feel me? Like we don't really see race like that in the hoods, bro. Like race, that don't become like an issue until like people's social norms don't get along with each other.
I see what you mean.
Stuff like that. You feel me?
St. Mary's, we went to the school together. It was a Catholic school and it was an all-boys school. I think that also informed the way our relationship is because when we used to get whooped by Sister Jerome, she didn't see color.
Oh yeah.
She put an Indian kid next to a white kid, next to a Chinese kid. Next
Everybody
to an
getting it.
We got the shit kicked out of us. And I think the fact is we grew up also playing sports together, integrating. There was none of that. But I will say, this racism aspect, it's there, but I see it more in Kenya as black on black, if you know what I mean. Like culturally, you're a Kikuyu versus a Jaluo. Tribal.
That's the thing, bro. Like I'm glad you brought this up. Like our people are severely tribalistic. So like my grandma is a Maasai woman.
Whoa.
Right. So that's one reason why I ended up in Kenya, because she made me promise that I would trace my roots and go back to where she was from. So we did the DNA test with my mom. I did mine, and man, it was like 28% Maasai part, and then the other part was like Nigerian. You feel me? So like, you know, I went to Nigeria.
How does Nigeria compare to Kenya, man?
Shithole.
We got in trouble famously.
Yeah.
Shithole.
There's a clip Sajid famously went viral for. He travels a lot for business.
We can put that up over here.
So he went to Nigeria.
And I got in trouble for saying this, but I'm going to say it again. If you complain about Kenya,
Just go West Africa.
Go any, but I used to say this all the time, and this is going back 15, 17 years.
Yeah.
And when I was working heavily for Mnet, I must have traveled to 20 countries.
Over Africa?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting.
Burundi, Nigeria, Ghana, Chad once, Ethiopia, Eritrea.
Okay.
And I used to always say, this is like going back like 15, 17 years ago when Nairobi was not like this. If you want to appreciate Nairobi as a city, go to other cities in Africa.
You have
With the exception of South Africa, what else do you have really?
I 100% agree with you. In fact, one of the reels we did, I think, Kim, that got like nearly a million views, yeah? Just by saying, for those of us that say Kenya is just go to a neighboring country.
Yeah.
And he was just like, apparently Nigeria is like proper shithole.
Listen, bro. Like, I don't bite my tongue. Like the first Airbnb I got had no electricity.
By the way, that's true. Nigeria, 90% of the time run on generators, 10% on main grid.
Bro, my Airbnb
with a GDP like theirs.
Bro, did you know that Nigeria per capita has the highest average IQ per person than any country in the world?
To be a scammer, you need to be smart.
And you gotta understand something, bro. Like,
Shop boy.
Some of the biggest slave traders was Nigerians.
Really?
They started the slave trade.
I've talked about my small stint, skidbit, I call it, prison experience, right? And in the hierarchy in industrial area in Kenya,
Nigerians,
the guys who are controlling everything, was the Nigerians
for sure,
and in a foreign country, and they were running the show. Imagine.
But so, have you noticed? Okay, given whatever Nigeria is, one thing I'll admire about Nigerians is these guys are fucking hustlers.
They hustle down to the ground, bro.
Everywhere. So like Pakistanis, for example, you see a Pakistani everywhere. You see a Pakistani in Nigeria. And you see a Nigerian in Pakistan, in China.
You go see a Nigerian everywhere, bro.
Everywhere, man. So
they
you
don't
have to
give a fuck.
Kenyans, I think we're a bit shy when it comes to expanding beyond the confines, like Nigerians, if you look at that.
Do you think Kenyans are soft?
No. See, all right. You got to understand certain things. Kenyans are cool, laid back, but Kenyans can almost hive mind. And that's their strength.
Mob.
Because, I've watched protests. Listen, my first trip here, I had got a Airbnb in Ruiru. And I'm in a super sketchy area, right?
I remember. I was wondering, why is this guy staying in Ruiru?
Yeah, why? I'm in a super sketchy area. And
shout out Ruiru, by the way.
I like to see, bro, I'm a trench baby, bro. Like, wherever it's dangerous that I'm at home. So my Uber is like, are you sure you're going to be okay here? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm fine. He said, where are you from? He said, you look Nigerian. You're big like Nigerian, but you don't look like a Nigerian. Where are you from? I say, bro, I gave him the rundown. He's like, take my number. I have a friend who has Airbnb in Kilimani. I think you should go there. I said, no, I'm good. So I'm at Baraka apartment. You feel me? And then I see 100 dudes with machetes. You feel me? Standing outside. They got rocks, poles, machetes, and they chasing the police. So he turned around shooting at them. They ducking. And they go chasing after them again. I got videos of people getting shot and everything. So I got a homie who's in the Kenyan Special Forces. He's watching my WhatsApp story. He's like, he said, where are you? Why are you there? So he sent some guys to come get me and take me from over there. I said, no, bro, I'm fine. They said, no, we insist. A foreigner shouldn't be over here right now. The environment is hot. So I'm like, all right. So I go with them, you feel me? They give me the whole rundown. But after I left them, I just went back to my Airbnb. I paid for it. So I realized that these people here have a lot of national pride. That's something a lot of other African countries don't really have that much.
Kenya, man.
For sure. And I respect that. I respect that wholeheartedly because, man, I be chilling. Like, I be having a good time. Like, and then, like, I take so many photos with people back home. But when I got to the airport in Qatar, I was taking pictures. But them people was Kenyans. So I'm like, but they just a lot of more well behaved. Like they be chilling, and I realized that being able to come together is like the biggest tool that you can have because if guns was legal here, the people will be running the show.
So do you think Fifth Amendment is a good or a bad thing?
It's a great thing.
So do you think we'd be better off with guns here? I ask you like this because
listen, man,
my
Kenyan
niece
people get wild.
There are guns here, though, Eric. Though not in possession of certain classes.
but not from Carrefour.
Okay, yeah, that's true. You can't just walk into a supermarket and be like, "Give me a Walther P99."
My niece went to school in New York. I think I told you she went to finish her high school there.
Yeah.
Bro, they have gun. They have like gun shoot. What do you call it?
Gun ranges.
No, shooter drills, active shooter drills. In school.
Oh yeah.
In school.
Gotta have that.
That's crazy, yeah.
Even the classes, some of the classes in schools are kitted out against possible terrorist attacks, right? It's that prevalent, man.
What do you think, though? Do you think our society would do better if we had that kind of access? Because remember, the whole principle around the Fifth Amendment is a rogue government.
Right. Check this out. When it comes to possession of guns, there are two ways to look at it. There are two stories I can reference in Kenya specifically. Guy driving home with his wife after movies, parked at the gate. Robber comes. Give me your cash. As he's reaching to get the wallet, he sees a gun. Robber doesn't think twice, shoots him. If he didn't have a gun in that instant, you could argue that he wouldn't have been shot. Yeah. Another incident similar like that. Guy had a weapon, stopped by robbers. He defended himself and he went out, and he basically survived the night. So there are two ways to look at it, right? It depends on also the environment you're in, man. Like here, if we get to a point where everyone has weapons, bro, it can be a bit chaotic. Imagine Fazal on LSDU and he has a weapon.
imagine goons with now guns.
Listen, man, look.
What do you think, Big?
Okay. You know, there are very few groups that were never colonized by the British and the colonizer groups. Most of those groups is here. Between Kenya and Ethiopia, most of those groups are in this area. And then, you know, I've seen mob justice take place in front of me.
Yeah.
And I've seen the cops say, we're not going to be able to stop this. And they had guns. I said, if these people had guns, there would be no government. They would be running the show. Because, bro, when Ryla died, they stormed the airport.
I was there.
Bro,
crazy day.
Yeah, exactly.
Put a video there.
Bro, I'm like, man.
Borders at the airport, man.
That's insane.
I'm seeing this take. I'm watching. So I got homies that stay in Eastlake. They say, yo, we about to get active. I think you should go to the coast. I'm looking like, yeah. I look out my window. They mobbing up everywhere. I'm like, I think I'm finna just go to the coast because I'm not about to be.
And the coast was. You enjoy the coast better than Nairobi? You prefer it?
No. I don't. It's not the same experience. I don't even compare the two. Like the weather is different, the vibe is different, the people are a lot different. Because out in the coast, I live in a Muslim community.
Yeah.
It's a lot different. I like them both. You feel me? But I've been to a lot of places, bro. There's no place like Nairobi, bro.
That's big. That's a clip right there.
That's a clip right there.
Clip right there. The fact that you're saying this.
Bro, I've been everywhere, bro. There's no place like Nairobi.
And how long are you going to be around for? Is it in and out?
No.
You get a stealth bomber, man.
Stealth bomber? Because I kept messaging Eric. When is Big coming?
I tried to pin him down even when he's here. That time I tried pinning him down on time and location. This guy's always I'm outside.
Yeah, bro. I apologize for that. It's just that it's hard to explain to people when you've been working in a certain field for almost 20 years. You know, when they get you because they know where you're going to be, when you're going to be. And, you know, I always do things unannounced. Like nobody knew I was leaving America. Nobody knew when I was leaving. You got to move around like that. I've been poisoned. I've been shot. I've been stabbed. I've experienced everything. Like this is fake. I got shot in my mouth before. See this?
Yeah.
So I got shot because they knew where I was about to be.
That's such a foreign concept. Go ahead, Sadiq.
I got a call one day from a private number. Say, yeah, you got a week. I'm like, I got a week? Who the fuck is this? And they hung up. So enough, 7 days later, I'm at a birthday party like an idiot. They came to ambush. I mean, I won, but I got shot up that day. I got videos of that if y'all want to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go through such traumatic stuff, does it numb you to a lot of things?
Oh no. No, it didn't numb me to anything. It made me a lot more aware. I value every moment of life a lot more. Um, I'm harsh on people I love because they haven't seen what I've seen. People look at me to be this imposing figure, this pillar in my community, but I had experiences where I seen my own blood leaving my body. I felt my heart rate slowing down. I felt my heart stopping. I felt my body getting cold, my vision going out. I'm like, damn. I didn't been under anesthesia. They always had to put me in a coma so the blood will stop. I would stop bleeding. And, I had an experience where I seen a set of crimson red stairs when I was under anesthesia, like kind of like in a coma or whatever. And it made me really appreciate everything to the fullest. You feel me? So like when I was able to travel and come here, man, I felt it like in my spirit, like, man, this is home for me. Like this is where I'm from. It's where I'm supposed to be. And like the only place I experienced like this type of like hospitality is like in the deep south, like in Texas and stuff like that, where they got like that southern hospitality. But like, it's no place like this place. So that's why I tell people, like, for me to get here, I had to fight, Jack. I had to go through some things.
Are you a religious person?
Like, yeah, it's tatted on me, bro. You feel me? Like each one of these bullet holes was a close call. You feel me? So like, God gave me 9 lives. I got like 2 left. I'm trying to just chill with my lady and just continue making waves, bro.
Do you believe you have a higher purpose? Because normally when you go through what you have and you keep coming back and there's something like deep down, do you feel that there's something I need to achieve? There's something that has kept me here on earth.
Yeah.
Like each of us have our purpose, if that makes sense.
100%, bro.
It's a mission.
You're an eloquent speaker, bro. Fantastic.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so I had an experience where I was in my neighborhood. We had a trap house basically. We had a lady comes bursting through the door and she throws a purple set of small sweatpants at me. And she says, "Look what they did to my baby." And I'm looking like, I'm like, man, she just come bursting in the door. You feel me? Now, normally, it's somebody sitting at this door with an AK. He's not there today. He's with his daughter. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, this is supposed to happen. I have a conversation with her. She showed me a video from her camera she had in her house. Pretty much 5 grown men is assaulting her daughter. And she hands me a stack of cash. And I'm looking at the sweatpants. I see like this dried yellow stuff inside the pants, something like dried blood. I see what took place here. And she wanted us to do something about it. Now, at this point, I was preparing my exit from America. And this is 2018. I'm preparing myself, and eventually I'm going to get out of here. And she gave us a lot of money. She works as a nurse, so she had money. But in this world, if as a woman, if people know you're unaccounted for, they'll do anything to you. So I had a conversation with my homies, And the person responsible for this is a member of the Vice Lords, and he was something called a shot caller, I would say, for them. So we ended up running into this guy at a nightclub. He get his teeth knocked out, knots on his head. His name was Kenny. After this event takes place, she finds out what happened. She happy about it, et cetera, et cetera. Her daughter had to get her vulva sewed back up, stuff like that. And I had an experience where somebody spoke to me in my right ear and said, beware of an ambush. I can't explain this. I know it was God. Because about 8 days after that, I had this experience. It happened in my right ear. And when you read the Bible, it says like when God speaks to you, it's gonna come through your right ear. So I ended up having to shoot through the door to protect my life. I was victorious that day. I got footage of this. And it was on this day where, you know, I knew I was gonna have to do something about things in my community. Because like after that, another lady comes and say, "Big homie, how come we can't walk to the store in peace without these guys down here harassing us? They robbing old ladies and stuff like that." So I told my homies, I say, "Look, y'all either gonna get on this side with me, or I'm taking y'all last to war because we so gangster. But how is our community not safe?"
Yeah.
And they said, "Big homie, shit." Well, they used to always call me Killer Man. So they was like, "Killer Man, shit. We always follow you to hell or jail, whatever. So whatever you want to do, we gonna do it." So they decided to walk in the light with me, and it paid off. So like that was my experience to know, like, all right, there is a higher power for sure.
I mean,
Because I done had too many close calls, man.
do you know that realization of what you're meant to do, the purpose, where your physical being and your spiritual being connect? Seems you're quite in tune with that. I obviously you're very religious, and I hate to bring in this angle, but have you ever gone through psychedelics or DMT to touch with the spiritual plane? Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah. So you know, I'm a scientist at heart.
Mixing chemicals and testing them. Oh,
Yeah, I was a chemistry major at first.
really?
Yeah, for sure.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like mixing whiskeys and shit.
No,
like,
but I got to witness some concoctions, and for sure,
what concoctions are we talking about?
Some medicinal stuff.
All right, we're talking about pH scale.
Yeah, pH.
Measuring the pH. All right, good. Right.
Yeah, so you know,
Breaking Bad.
we on the right path now. We on the right path for sure.
Science, bitch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, you know, dimethyltryptamine is something I've definitely, man, had some harrowing experiences with that. Have you?
I did. So I've talked about this on the podcast before. The first psychedelic experience I had was mushrooms in Amsterdam, and the podcast came as a result of that.
Aha.
Where I was I'd gone through a breakup, very negative state. Work was taking off, and my boss took pity on me. He's like, "Look, before this conference, go take a few days in Amsterdam. I'll cover the cost. Just have fun, and I'll meet you at the conference."
For sure.
Now the thing is, Amsterdam is a very cold place. You know, Dutch people can be they're not very friendly people.
Kind of standoffish.
Yeah, so you know, very negative vibes. Not enjoying it. The fucking weather's miserable. Overcast. And I decided, let me just go and have a mushroom trip. Go and listen to some John Mayer, some Chicago blues, which I wanted to talk to some BB King and so on and so forth.
Let's go.
Next thing, John Mayer was initially fucking chasing me with a guitar. I'm panicking. Shit's going wild. But then eventually we get to a place where he's playing. There's a song I'm forgetting. We'll put it up over here. But it's got such a vibe to it, and I see these pink neon lights coming and hitting me, which is where the pink for the coffee pump came from.
Oh, okay.
And he shakes my hand and he's like, "You should start this. I think we'll have a conversation one day." And we're on stage, and so that's how I thought, let me just start the podcast. It was the weirdest fucking trip ever, but scary, so scary because I was alone. I didn't
Yup.
have anyone.
Yep.
So that was my experience with psychedelics, and it was so profound to the fact that it motivated me to start a YouTube channel.
For me, in recent times, what helped me just stop everything and like have a clear vision. Okay, like you've had enough now. Chill was precisely something similar. Like it just gave me a vision of exactly where I am on this journey with this specific thing, and it just told me, okay, you don't have to go the full mile. Like you don't have to. You're so used to a certain, what do you call it, spiral. Like you just have the power. Just stop it here.
Understood.
Yeah, and it was clear as, and I mean, right now that's what's keeping me.
Big, tell me about your experience with these things.
Right.
But DMT, before you get that, DMT it's from what I know, it's like a 5-8 minute, but it feels like a lifetime. It feels like a whole hour.
So you know they got scientists mapping the DMT space now.
Really?
Yeah, because they figured out how to put it in a drip IV.
I saw that.
And you could be
intravenous like a whole day.
You could be doing it for 24 hours. So they're mapping this space now.
Actually, Conor McGregor went through it, the UFC fighter. He said there was some clinic, possibly somewhere in the States, that he went through. And
have you seen him?
He looks fucking
full
fantastic.
180.
He looks good, eh?
Full 180. Like he's. Of course, we also Conor get the bag, crazy bag. We saw him wiling out, splurging women, grinding his teeth in public. Yeah. And then the other day, I'm seeing an interview, and the guy is poised, and he's like, now he's just back to being calm and.
Yeah, he had made a comment. He said he had disgraced the position God had gave him.
Yeah.
And he found himself back through Jesus. And one of the things I had to accept is that you have hidden knowledge and then you have forbidden knowledge. And they seem to make certain things forbidden because they don't want you to access different realms and mingle with different entities. They don't want you to ascend. And, for me, I'm always looking for knowledge. I grew up, I had a tumultuous life, man. Crazy life. So I've been in several wars, and like the only way me and my homies survived that was stuff like Molly and ecstasy. Because whenever my homies would get shot up and they were sober, they died. Whenever we got shot up and we was off Molly and ecstasy, we lived. You feel me? I got pictures, bro. Like I'll show one. I got photos, bro, where I'm shot up. And I'm like, man, hand me that Hennessy right there. And then it's like, dude, it's so crazy because a lot of things changed when we got the mushrooms.
But you said they're mapping out the DMT.
I saw you post it. We'll put that. Can we put that picture up over here? I saw you posted that up.
You said they're mapping out the DMT realm. So what I've heard many people talk about when they do DMT is, so let's say Fazad does it, Sajid does it separately. Guys all meet the same entities.
Yep.
Yes, those entities that attach onto you in some dimension.
And there's a guy who was abusing it, like he was pulling an Eric, so he started doing daily DMT. And
before takeoff,
he said at some point those entities told him you cannot come here anymore.
They kicked him out.
He couldn't
get kicked out of the DMT.
He couldn't experience the.
But okay, what does religion say about that? Because here's the weird thing. Biggs described it. You've described it. We've all seen it, and people who've done it say seeing the same.
Although for me it was my twin brother, so it was telepathic.
Okay, I didn't get that joke.
Definitely wasn't me.
Oh
though.
yeah, sorry.
My twin, my identical.
Okay, I get it. It's your twin brother who flies for Jumbo Jet.
Yo, Jumbo Jet flights, the seats are small, man. My first time going to Jumbo Jet, I get a picture message of me, and it's Eric. He's like, "I see you." Really?
Yeah, I was in a different aircraft in the cockpit. He was on the tarmac. I took a picture.
That's nice. So just to dive into this a bit more, for him in particular, for someone who's a square, right? What would you recommend to start off? First of all, is it important? I think it's important. I think it's very important for people to have a psychedelic experience, just to show you what is on the other side. Never say never. Try experiences. If it doesn't work out for you, move on.
Yeah, so everything is about dosage. Point blank, period. Like I always tell people, like when you start delve into these different type of activities, take the smallest amount possible until you feel something, and then you take it in dosages from there. Because certain people have had trips and they didn't recover. And that's something that I tell people all the time because the mental human psyche can be fragile. So if you're taking mycelium, which is mushrooms, if you're taking mycelium and you're already in an agitated state, you're probably going to start, your trip is probably going to start off
in a negative light.
In a negative light, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? So for somebody that's a square, the perfect entry strain is penis envy mushrooms. Pause.
Huge pause.
So
put that on the screen for guys to see.
Did we just call it penis envy?
That's the name of the strain.
All right, Fazza, so your lifelong dream will feed you penis.
It's looking crazy for my we a virgin, taking penis envy, it's getting wild today, man.
Fazza, would you like some penis?
Is that the same as like psilocybin? Is that like psilocybin?
Yeah.
Psilocybin mushrooms.
But people gotta understand, bro, like when you're ingesting these mushrooms, this is a living organism. Like they use mushrooms to map the Japan subway station.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and the mycelium networks on this planet can stretch out for light years. So people gotta understand what you're taking, and that's why they would say, "Oh, they didn't use mushrooms in ancient Egypt, but they're written on the hieroglyphics."
And plant medicine in general. I know Joe Rogan was getting flack for shouldering Trump at the White House, but he did it for a bigger cause in terms of it's called ibogaine.
Ibogaine
as a treatment for depression and PTSD. They said it has a 90% success rate. So, I mean, 90%, bro. What else? What else do you need?
But I'd love to do DMT with both of you.
For sure.
I think for getting Fazza right now, we want to enjoy that trip.
Well, you know how MDMA came about, right?
The origin, I don't know.
Yeah, so that was used to help couples that were married couples that were having a down spurt in their marriage.
Yes.
And then they used it for soldiers who had PTSD. So, you know, but we was having real conflict in the streets, bro. And it was like, man, houses getting shot up. And it was like, you know, we got to be able to stay up 24 hours a day without losing performance. MDMA did it. Without that, I wouldn't be sitting here.
What's the experience like on MDMA? What does it help with? Like, I mean, what do you feel?
Well, it's like a heightened sense of awareness, bro. Like, you can hear better. You can smell better.
Music sounds great.
Music sounds great. Your intuition is better. You can drink unlimited.
Better with you.
For sure.
Dude, seriously.
For sure.
Fucking hell. So it's you still have motor controls. You don't lose it, right? You just heightened sense.
No. Okay.
MD is Molly by day.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Okay, fucking hell, I was in space.
Sandy was having a blast.
Dude, I was listening to songs. I was like, are you sure that's Dua Lipa's song? It sounds so different.
Bro, yeah.
Music sounds so different.
We in the trap house playing Frank Sinatra all night. Well, for sure, fly me to the moon. It's going down, bro. I'm talking, we playing BB King. I'm like, we playing real blues. Dude. Like, it opens up your synapses. Like, it rewired a lot of us because, like, it made us better people.
So, considering the benefits of all these things, how is it the power structure, in your estimation, has, like, even Sajid and I, as we're talking about this, we keep glancing at each other because we know how taboo in the Kenyan, like,
it's weird. And the thing is, so I wanted to reference his point. Obviously, he's very clean. He's a square guy, hardworking, nice guy. Still a virgin. We're still debating that. But when I talk to him about even smoking weed, like smoke weed, just relax, or something like a psychedelic trip, he goes on edge. I want to sort of break that barrier and affirm to him that it's not really that taboo.
And for the record, he's over 18, guys.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Stay in school.
Well, see, okay. All right.
What would you recommend, like a starter pack? Like, you know, when you go to McDonald's,
Starter
you got
pack is a cigarette, man. That's the starter pack, man. Like you just can't jump into this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So menthol, and then MDMA.
Dude, I'm telling you, this dude vapes around me and I fucking have an asthma.
But see the
edibles then.
the hypocrisy of
I
society.
did edibles once.
You did? How was that experience for you?
Which edibles did you take?
Someone made chocolate. I didn't know. I was
Yeah,
fucking-
we're not talking the brownie chocolates you get in Kenya. Those are jack shit. I mean, I'm talking about big stack.
But guys, how about the big homie? You landed here, whatever you needed. We don't have to get specific. You can get anywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
what about this hypocrisy in? Let's talk about Kenyan society, for example. Sajid, we know. Guys trap.
I'll tell you this.
Everyone is trapping.
Well, everybody's hustling
Everybody.
hard,
But why? But why? Like it's you see that in the States right now, they've kind of broken the barrier of guys. I mean, guys use marijuana openly.
yeah, certain
guys-
states have completely decriminalized all drugs.
So
Here, weed is still looked at as taboo.
do we get to that point ever?
Well, you gotta understand, like,
How long did that take?
religious viewpoints are something that restricts humanity's growth, but at the same time, it gives you rules to live by, guardrails, and my mom always tells me it takes different type of people to make the world go round. I've seen people have their first weed experience, they're smoking very potent weed, and then they come out with schizophrenia.
Jesus.
And that's why, you probably start off with lower grade stuff.
Do you think exposure plays a part in terms of reacting to? Because we know stories, big homie, and growing up in high school, you give the wrong person the right strain, and they're just not equipped.
They can't handle it, bro.
They can't handle it.
And that's an exposure thing as well.
Yeah, but it's just the core principles is the same. Just like if you give somebody a whole bunch of money and they never experienced it, they about to crash out.
Touche.
So that's why it's kind of like this is the paradoxical effect of the human condition. Too many things contradict themselves. That's why the only out to that is to experiment with these different substances, because you try to grasp this world. Government, if they can't control it and put tax on it, it's illegal. Then with religions, your body is a temple, this and that. But in the Bible, 2 Peter is going to give you instructions on how to be a good slave. Then you go to Islam, it's a lot of weird things with that religion. People don't want to talk about it though, because that in itself is taboo. And I just don't think that spookism should be so prevalent in human society at all. When you look at 90% of everything that lived on the planet is dead. That should be spooky, but it's not. So, like, one reason I like Nairobi so much, because on Sunday, everybody I know is at church. In America, I done been in shootouts on Sunday. We had a shootout in the church parking lot.
What?
The ops came into the church. I get a text message, hey, bro, the ops in here. I stand looking around. They looking at me. Motherfucker give me the middle finger in the church. I'm like, damn. But we in here with Dracos. Long live my grandmama Jan. I love you so much. I'm going to say this. My granny will have a pistol on her just in case we needed it. So it's just like,
hey, shout out Granny, man.
Shout out Granny.
Man, Granny was driving loads of cocaine from Chicago to different states. When I was a baby, I'm in the car, she trafficking. My granny, my auntie Betty, them ladies was savages, boy. But they kept us in church. They put love in our heart. They could put enough Jesus in our heart that we was able to make sound decisions in tough times.
Is the church and like the religious, what do I call it, fraternity in America, is it waning as information comes out? Are people going to church less, the mosque less, temples, wherever Hindus go as well? Are people worshiping less in the States?
Yeah, so on May 17th, the Trump administration rededicated the United States to Jesus Christ. So they put religion back in school now. You got mega church ministries that are packed every Sunday. You know, we got giant mosques that are packed for all type of events. I feel like a lot of people are going back to our religions after COVID and after seeing wars and seeing stuff like that. But at the same time, my country's a candy store, man.
In terms of Islam and the growth, I've heard it's quite prevalent within the state. Within Chicago, where you're from,
yeah,
are there a lot of people converting to, what they call it, reverting to Islam?
Yes, especially in the hood, like in the trenches. I'm watching so many game bangers become Muslims.
Lil Duck.
Which to me is crazy because it's like,
Drewski did a skit about it.
Bro.
What's the appeal to Islam? So obviously, I'm a Muslim, come from a Muslim background. I understand the religion. I don't focus too much onto it, but every time I log in online, I'm seeing some famous celebrity convert to Islam. You're just seeing that happen, right? Whether it's the rugby sphere, whether it's Sonny Bill Williams, rappers as well. You're hearing Dave Chappelle. Apparently, he's a Muslim as well, but he doesn't like talking about it. So, is it what propels the need? And you're laughing with it.
So much evil takes place in my country that people are looking for something outside of white Jesus. And, you know, I always tell people, like, Islam is a warrior's religion. That's what it is. Muhammad was a warlord. He had a militia, slave trader. You know, he wasn't no pushover, man. You know, there's a lot of things in Islam that are beneficial to men. You know, you can have multiple wives. When you die, you get virgins, all of these type of things. But I always salute men who try to get control over themselves. So when certain religions hit mainstream and you see artists doing it and celebrities doing it, now it's cool for people to look into it. But my concern is I'm seeing a lot of guys revert or convert to Islam. They've never read the Quran.
Really?
That's what's concerning for me.
But you have to give Islam credit. I'm not religious myself, but in my industry, for example,
You know, whenever you make it, just so sorry to cut you short, but you think you can make fun of every religion, but when you make fun of Islam, the whole fucking room goes quiet.
and I'm being very sensitive.
Yeah, because this is the only religion that will come and murder you for playing.
One thing I love.
You can do anything to the Christians. You can slap the Hindus. You can piss on a Buddhist statue. Them Muslims, they go show up anywhere, burn your shit down.
But what I
they
love,
go murder your ass.
What I love about,
so if you want a gang, you go after Muslims.
That's what I'm trying to tell people. The BDs, which Lil Durk and them is, those is our mortal enemies. These is killers, malice murderers. That's what they are, and they all Muslims, and that's not concerning to nobody. They still killing. And then they all out there laid down praying in the morning and then going out with AKs at night.
Please insert Drewski's skit. But I'll say this. One thing I'll give about...
How do you think it's Muslims? Come on, they were just trying to kill us.
One thing I'll say about Muslims that I respect, and I every time I say that, Fazaz, I can feel Fazaz's eyes on me.
Yeah, Fazaz, he's fucking cyclopsing.
In my industry, in aviation, people have challenges left, right, center. Muslims never let their brothers fall by the wayside. It doesn't matter what challenge they have, or bro, they hold each other up. To find a jobless Muslim pilot is damn near impossible.
See, this is why I moved to a Muslim community.
Bro, the
exact same reason.
Bro, the brotherhood is strong. He's my closest friend. He's shown me brotherhood in a crazy way. I don't know if it stems from that as well.
They got that down pat.
But it is commendable. Like it's unlike nothing else I've seen. Now, for us guys, Christians, or let me identify as agnostic, but
it's culture as well, bro. So I mean, you see, the thing is, maybe to add on to that, and Big, you can also comment. In Kenya, what happens is the Kikuyu culture. And I speak for Kikuyus because that's what the direct feedback I have. When you turn 18, you go fend for yourself. Your dad's money is your dad's money. You go and make your own way, not touching dad's money. Versus, I'm not sure if it's really Islam, but the culture we've been brought up in, united we stand. divided we fall, right?
100%.
You stay in one house, you got your two brothers, all right? You get a big house. You divide the rent between the two brothers. You want to buy a new car, you divide between you two cars. Rather than having three different brothers staying in three different houses, three separate rents, three separate lives. United you stand. If there's a problem, we deal with it as a family.
That's why they win.
That's how I approach that friendship culture as well. People will be like, oh, you're living with your parents, you're doing this, you see your wife and everyone is staying in the same house. But look at the luxuries we're able to afford by pooling our resources together. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than at 18, go fuck off, fend for yourself, man.
This is a very interesting conversation because, I almost took my Shahada before.
Seriously?
I almost became a Muslim. The core principles that they were teaching me, I was able to apply that with me and my team, my homies, and we all ended up in one house. We got like a nice crib. We was able to get a lot of businesses started because we were pooling resources and funds. I almost became a Muslim. Well, once I started playing with DMT, everything changed for me. Like everything changed for me. So like, sometimes people say I'm critical of Islam. I'm not really critical of Islam. What I'm critical of is that because it is a beautiful religion, and it's being modernized now.
Is it?
They're working on modernizing.
I mean, if you look at Dubai and you look at all these Emirate states, one thing I'll say is the Arab Emirates countries is galvanizing the right word with money. Media personalities, the Andrew Tates, the Dan Bilzerians, they're furnishing them with funds to spread the positivity of Islam indirectly. And either that's by promoting a certain state, like Andrew Tate's with the Dubai culture, and the conversion.
They just changed the name Housewife to Destiny.
So if you look
Destiny Shaper. I'm not being sarcastic. This guy is on edge with this.
No.
They changed. They want to change the name House. I think it's either in Dubai or in Saudi. Housewife.
Yeah.
To Destiny Shaper. Like,
really?
Yeah. Just to prop women up a bit.
That's bullshit.
I kid you not. Fact check me. I'm not. You think I'm being sarcastic? I swear down, bro.
Yo, where's my Destiny Shaper?
No, because they're down.
I know it's Destiny Spears.
Because they're down to raise kids, so they're trying to just. No, housewife is a bit demeaning.
Is it? Is that the case, producer?
Hi, listen. So it's not Destiny Shaper; it's Generation Shaper for stay-at-home mothers.
Ah, fuck that shit. Stay-at-home mothers is better. Stay-at-home moms. What you say, Destiny? Generational Shapers.
Generation Shaper.
So I combat human trafficking, right? I've never got a call from a Muslim family, except for one time, and the reason that was because their grandfather had died, and one of the other men in the family had went to jail for DUI, and I'm not gonna tell his business. He ended up getting out. Him and a cop didn't see eye to eye, so the cop kind of framed him for the DUI. But the Muslim community was so powerful, they was able to get him out, and the cop ended up getting fired, all type of stuff. So what I learned is Muslims govern themselves. There was a person in the family who was doing illicit things to the younger females in the family, and man, they cut his fingers off.
Fucking hell.
And this was in America. They cut his fingers off. Because I was doing security for one of the dudes. They own like a lot of Boost Mobile stores and Subways. So they would have family meetings in the Boost Mobile store when it's closed. And I show up there one day because one of them had left their phone in my car. They said they'd get it from me tomorrow. I show up there. They all standing in a circle having a serious talk. And they told me just stick around for a second. They got the other dude in the back. They got him in the back. And once I seen stuff like that, I was kind of enamored like that because that's how we do, I'm a gang member, bro. You feel me? And I was able to convert that into being something that's respected. So, like, a lot of the core principles is the same. So, like, that's why I was like, you know what? This might be something I'll do, but it's like, man, I'm only bowing down to my wife because I think that I don't know. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not even gonna say that.
We can clip it out though. We don't need to put it in. Maybe just for
Yeah,
us.
somebody manufactured all of this. Because when you take DMT and you use that defragmented laser, you're gonna see code on the wall.
Oh yes, they've done experiments where a guy shines a laser.
You see
computer code.
I've seen it.
So it's artificially made.
Listen, bro, it made my it took my breath away. It took my breath away. And after that, I said, I'm going balls to the wall. Fuck it. I'm in a simulation. Fuck it. I'm going all the way now.
The question about simulation, I always wonder: is it predetermined? You see the way
no, that's the thing. That is the thing. I don't believe it's predetermined because that's why certain entities seem to feed off of our energies.
We were talking about this earlier. So just about simulation. Have you heard of Giovanni codes or something? What is it called? Just search them out. Let me give it to you right now. This is such a
pattern that's found in nature.
The fact that we're talking with. So apparently there are these codes that you recite. Anyway, this specific code was called unexpected money.
Okay.
What you have to do is you recite it out loud.
Will you teach me that one quickly?
All right. So the code is 5207418.
So wait. Context. It helps you get money?
I just here's the weird. Let's get the name, then I give the story. What's Giovanni codes?
Jama is reciting sports pesa numbers over here. It's the lottery number.
No, what's it called? Giovanni codes. Let me get that for you once.
Grabovoi. Grabovoi.
What are they called?
Grabovoi.
Oh, Grabovoi codes.
Are
numerical sequences created by Russian mathematician Grigory Grabovoi. They're believed to carry specific vibrational frequencies that aid in manifesting desired outcomes. Check this out. I saw something for unexpected money, which is 5207418. You essentially write it down on your arm or you recite. So I just decided to recite that shit. Okay. I recited it, maybe driving to work, in the shower, for a whole week, just doing like 10, 20 times.
Sajid is balling, for context if you're watching. Sajid is a baller, man.
Let's go.
Bro,
It's
the
a ball
next
out.
week, I got, and I'll tell you offline how much I got. I got a huge amount of cash, and I'm like, where the fuck did this money come from? Some guy calls me about a deal I gave him last year, which finally closed, and he gave me a finder's fee. How weird
do you think that's a coincidence?
I don't. I've been saying that code for 1 week now. I haven't got shit.
I'm gonna be saying that code for
the next. It's a one-time use. It's what one time.
It's a one-time use.
One-time use.
So what happened was I went on the internet and found different codes for money. I was like, fuck, I've expired that one. So now, I've seen there's seamless flow of money. There's another code. Then there's one is